Doing a cold open.
Cold open.
Dan Phasmic.
How we do?
Yeah. Looking through my highlights as well, just so this is taking Mama Mox to Hooters.
What?
Okay.
Do you not remember
I
that
was asking
conversation?
Chalk if he had any final words to say about Blue Flame, which I just see a thumbs up come behind the counter and just was fun. So there's his final words.
You don't remember that conversation, Mox?
I do not, but you gotta understand, there could be great lengths of time between some of these jokes we've made.
True. It was during Warhammer Vermintide 2. I think it was around Mother's Day for the
that
US.
Frantic game where I was like, where I was constantly surrounded by rats trying to parry.
Yes, but I mean, this was when we were in the castle hub. But still, you ended up calling your mum because apparently, if you take your mother to Hooters on Mother's Day, they eat for free. And you quite literally called your mum and asked if they were okay with doing that.
They wanted to go to Hooters.
Yeah.
Look at us playing Payday 2 and like, me and Mox having a conversation about how much we love nuts.
Last night we were playing the Castlevania, and before while Bronzy was away, we were talking about the new definition of CPR as a joke. It's not serious at all, to be clear.
Yeah, and I came back to what was it? And you can green screen your butt.
Yeah, and you can green screen your butt. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. That was a very fun way to start this. Here we are. Nice Thursday afternoon. The first week since we finished Blue Flame. That's some crazy shit. Absolutely insane that we actually finished that campaign. It's very surreal to me, actually.
You see that shit? That was fucking crazy.
That was absolutely crazy.
I died like twice.
I'm joined by most of the
I
players
almost died.
from the Blue Flame campaign. The only one of us who unfortunately is not going to be available for this is Chalk, just because of scheduling and things. That's probably a good place to talk or to start with things because, you know, Chalk's not going to be here for this. Is Chalk's involvement. Chalk's involvement's a very funny one for this campaign. Back when it was just a proposal of what we were doing, Chalk was one of the co-conspirators of creating the campaign. So him, Shy Guy, and myself were all sitting around our kitchen table with a notepad discussing ideas of like what could we do, what the island could be like, what was going to be like the idea, and we were kind of trying to come up with like, what is a fucking D&D campaign? Like, how do you encompass what D&D is in essentially 4 sessions?
Because the plan was this was going to be like sort of a one-shot, right?
It was proposed that if it was going to be a one-shot, I wanted it to be a contained one-shot where, you know, there are some intriguing things, but at the end of the day, it ends on a satisfying note with potential for the future. And if we wanted to continue, we had a hook to do so. And of all the contributions that Chalk made, and I know Chalk wants me to talk about this, Chalk made Rocky.
Yeah.
Chalk made goddamn Rocky Rockington. Dude, could you put Rocky inside of the whiteboard?
Oh, I was in the middle of doing something else.
Oh, hi.
Oh no!
It's your wife.
I don't have an image of Rocky on
We
the
don't have an
laptop.
image of Rocky.
I'm not on the laptop. We have an image, but I need to go find it. Hang on.
We got to find him. We lost a rock.
We lost the
I
rock.
might.
I loved the thing you sent the other day about Rocky on the TV.
Oh, God,
often.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I can see it.
Rocky the Indestructible Rock.
Yeah, like so.
Thank you, Z Bashaw.
Outside of what we were doing, I was still ultimately learning new D&D things. I don't think I've ever really stopped learning D&D things, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop learning D&D things.
Mhm.
But I like to watch that content on YouTube so that I can get like an idea of what's like available to me and what like other techniques are, or what funny things are, or God, how much better of a DM I am to other people, because that self-doubt is a real problem I have with D&D. Funny enough, despite everything. So while I was watching this Ziva Shah video, who is a guy who makes really good D&D content, things for you to like think about and consider, right? Especially about older D&D. He was talking about the HP of random objects, and then while he was doing it, this little fucker showed up on the screen, and I was audibly shouting, "No! No!"
So, for some reason, I cannot find original Rocky, but it looks like someone else found it.
We got the boy.
But I did have this.
Oh, is it what I think it is?
It's uploading.
Oh, no, it's not what I thought it was.
Hey.
Hey! I love rocks. You comfort me.
That was Mox last night.
No. Oh, the madness. Oh, the madness.
Catcher than Rocky.
So when we were creating the goddamn curses and things like that, I don't even remember if there was a funny reason. I guess an opportunity for us to share some of these memes we made.
Yeah, all the stuff that's going in the blue flame chat.
Yeah,
When we had that one meme session where we just were sending memes like.
yeah, 'cause, you know, shit was scary, intense. Rocky fucking died that session.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Poor Rocky.
For some reason, Chalk was just like, yo, we should have a chance that a pet rock gets summoned. I was like, yeah, sure. Cool. I would come to regret that decision.
That seems to happen to you frequently as a DM,
Yes.
where you're just like, yeah, sure, whatever, and then it's just a much bigger deal than you thought it was going to be.
Yep. Yes, yes it is.
This has happened many times.
It has, and I would
Even
prefer.
though
I
I am
prefer not to
failing
bring
to
up some of
remember
what we
other
do.
examples.
I mean,
How can, for some reason, it's not allowing me to like upload.
I had to save and upload.
Yeah, if it's saved to the device.
Yeah, no, I was trying to upload another one because I have a few memes, but it's not allowing me to do that anymore. Like,
Oh.
yeah, I can't. I've got the one where it's like editing the images that you've uploaded rather than.
Oh, you're doing that.
That.
thing.
Yeah, but it's not allowing me to get out of that for some reason, and I don't know why.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, hey, it's Catros.
Oh, hey, Catchers. It's the original Catchers.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm working on it.
The many faces of Catros.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the many phases.
So I'll open the floor. We could even start with that. Of anything that you guys want to talk about real quick, or just in general.
Whiteboard. Leave the accent
I
the same,
won't
yeah,
lie.
it's fine.
I'm kind of a brat of a player.
Yes, you are.
And the first time Melody died, I legit had to physically restrain myself from quitting the call because I got really mad. It's not Mox's fault at all. However, I don't like when my characters die.
That's fair.
unless it feels narratively fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So,
think
like, I'm kind of a brat as a player. Oh, Rocky.
I think your first death, and actually I think your second death especially, were very important. They added things to the story. The second death became an opportunity for another thing, but the first death was a genuine you died.
Why are you just
Yeah.
randomly
They blew.
This bitch went through it.
They really did.
She really did.
She basically ended back up in her original
Yeah, at the end.
at the end.
Yeah. So I mean, that was something that I was going to ask. So I was speaking on the first death of Melody, where I lost some things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, we never really got a chance to explore it, which is fine. I mean, obviously one of the things that I lost was my last name.
Yes.
And it was, what was the extent of the loss, and the like, was there any overall what were the overall repercussions of that in a way?
So I hinted at it a few places that because you didn't have an association with your name, what this meant was that Farum lost basically the position of being in their family. You were no longer part of where you were. Basically, that part of your life was gone. You had no affiliations. You had no direct family. You had yourself. And those who remembered you knew you on your own. There was no lineage to discuss. There was no additions. You were essentially alone.
So I existed but had no place.
Exactly.
So was it then that the intention being that I essentially was removed from... So let's say, for instance, if I was to run into an actual member of my family,
They
Would
would
they-
not know you
they wouldn't know me at all.
at all.
Right, okay.
They
so
think
I
it was
was
odd that
essentially-
you would look the way you did, and they would think it's strange that, you know, you really resemble some people. But they would just figure, you know, that's just the world. That's how it be.
I'm assuming it was something. It's still, even at the end, something I never truly got back. I just got a new family, as it were.
Put yourself into a new position. Your life changed. I didn't really bring it up, but your family wasn't ever mentioned in the epilogue.
No, that is true.
It's
They
one
were-
of those details that I think is a subtle detail, but it might be too subtle. Kind of.
No, it was definitely something that I picked up on. The mention, all that you said was, "We're home." You never said where that home was.
I never said where that home was, and I never said what your place in that home.
No.
In fact, you started in a boat's captain quarters for a reason. Your life is a life of travel now. You live that boat is essentially your home, unless you deign otherwise. But that's a whole other ball to deal with.
Yeah, no, that is in essence kind of what it was. Is it how I saw things being was, in essence, the ship itself became a temple for Aleki. Rather than there would obviously still be fixed locations for it, but a lot of it would have been, I think, in my mind and how it was after that, is that the ship itself was a temple.
How about you, Julie?
What about me?
Anything you want to discuss?
Mm, um,
Or I guess any questions?
hmm. Okay, so obviously thinking about like my backstory then, in which we were talking about kind of, you know, how my homeland got destroyed. Obviously now we've done it. Are we linking that to the matriarch?
Yes, it was. We
Yes.
discussed the bits that when we were coming up with your backstory before, and I mentioned that, you know, this could be a underdark thing, that the Drow themselves came to do this, right?
Yeah.
It was always going to be that it was a Drow matriarch because Drow society is basically female dominated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it only would make sense if it was a lady Drow who was doing this. My change on the Drow culture, because I do need to preface this, I kind of don't like Drow, and I kind of hate the Underdark for my own reasons.
A lot of it is very very racist, honestly. Like
Oh.
that's the easiest way to put it.
100%.
I don't like that the Drow are explicitly an evil race, because I hate the idea of an evil race.
The idea of an evil race is stupid at best and fucking
It's
horrific
juvenile at
worst.
best. And it doesn't open up discussion for interesting things. It's very clear who the bad guy in a room is when there's default evil races, you know?
Yeah.
I like things being more ambiguous. I like things being more open to discussion, because I like the idea that a villain is a villain not necessarily just because they're evil, but because they have something they're striving for being evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the Matriarch case, it was a sense of power, and it was a sense of like a spiritual expansion. That was the idea I was trying to get across, that they had basically been so consumed by their desire to shape things and themselves into this zealotry that they had, that everything else was secondary to it.
She
Yeah.
wasn't evil because she was a Drow. She was evil because she was evil.
Yeah.
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 Essentially nature versus nurture. A lot of old D&D, and if you look at some of the old books, fall very victim to the time. Not even that, 'cause I mean, we were moving as a society away from that, but in story narrative senses, in fantasy, there is always, oh yeah, they're them, so they're just inherently like that. That is just nature. That is what they are. They are evil. But it's a crutch that was used that we're thankfully as a society moving away from. Societal wise and writing wise, I think.
think so.
I think one game system that have been trying to change that is Gloomhaven. Mox has limited experience with Gloomhaven. I believe
played,
you have said.
I played Gloomhaven in the worst way you could play Gloomhaven.
Yes, but it falls into the same sense, right? That certain races are evil.
I honestly couldn't...
From what I've...
I don't know if I can actually put anything to that. My time playing Gloomhaven was playing an unofficial DM for a game that doesn't need a DM.
True, that is true. Okay, in that case, then I'll at least expand on it. So I ended up kickstarting Frosthaven, which is the sequel to Gloomhaven. And they touched on in their backalogs that they had wanted to change how the story or how the background for races felt in that game. And even saying that they took out the word race from it. They made some changes that ended up being quite controversial to a number of people within the backer community for it.
I feel like any change you're going to make to a game is going to be controversial.
True. But one of the points that they were trying to do is that they were deliberately trying to move away from that, this race, this species is inherently evil because just of what they are. They're trying to go away from that nature more towards essentially a nurture, which is a concept very heavily implied upon in Wicked, of all things.
Yes.
To
I
go
found
back,
that when I watched the new one.
You watched the film. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was explicitly stated when I went to go and see the musical like a decade and a half ago.
Yeah, no, it is the nature versus nurture thing, which is quite it's actually really interesting because it's something I've been teaching my students about. We've been doing about evil and the origins of evil as our unit at the minute. So we've been talking about all sorts of different perspectives. Is it like nature versus nurture? Is it, genetics? Is it psychology? Can you make people be bad? And like all those sort of things. And it's really interesting when you hear the kids because they are so firm on it being your nurture until you bring up we brought up child criminals and like kids who have murdered people, and then they're like, no, they're just evil by nature. And they're so quick to flip. And it's such an interesting discussion to see them try and process the conversation of nature versus nurture, because they don't know,
No.
even after talking about it for weeks. And I think it's one of those endless human debates we'll never have an answer to, right?
We'll probably never have an answer, but we can have at least an understanding of approaches to the different angles of which evil can be defined,
Yeah.
I like making villains in these set of things that could potentially be an ally. Whether that's an ally that's permanent, kind of like the Thrife, or if that's somebody who you could have an uneasy alliance with because your interests lie together. That's how I've always liked to do my villains. I hate making just I'm evil for the sake of evil because I'm the cartoon character, yada yada yada.
Tend Mox for us to befriend the Thrife.
What was that?
Did you intend for Snoo to befriend the Thrife and keep them on for the journey?
Not
No, I think it was completely
intentional.
an accident because of Coyote.
because of the fact that the elements of fate in my game were so fucking random and anything was subject to change, including the fucking plot, I will confess something. We have been through all of this, and this has definitely been the game that I put the most amount of effort to make things consistent and to make things fit. But I still did this the way that I do campaigns because that's just how I do D&D and just tabletopping in general. I made up 90% of all of this campaign 2 days before we did a session.
Oh yeah, Mox is a fucking master of improv.
I'm not gonna lie, like, improv is something that is a very, if you can do improv, it is a very useful tool for things like D&D.
It's an incredibly useful
Mox is
tool.
fucking mad at it.
The way that I do campaigns is the worst possible way you could ever do a campaign. It's just how I do, okay? I don't sit here and just react to things. I loop what I want to do in my head. I loop the events, I loop the characters, I loop what has happened, and I'm constantly thinking about it and what could go on, where to move things. When you guys end a session and you're standing at the opening of like a cave and you're about to move forward.
Mox, have you got a dramatic echo on your mic?
Do I have a dramatic echo on my mic?
Yeah, you're echoing, dude.
I'm echoing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just
like dramatically.
What do you mean dramatically?
like it's only happening on
cinematically.
3 words.
Okay. I don't know what could be doing that, but admittingly, I'll talk about this later, but my sound and my mic thing is a little funky right now because of last night, but I'll talk about that later. I did see that apparently I had a little bit of reverb on. I got that turned off.
Yeah, I think it must have been that. Because that's
I think it
what
was. I was
sounded
gonna
like.
say it was definitely like reverb.
Yeah, it
Apparently,
was definitely
yeah, the
like...
reverb dial was tilted ever so slightly up.
There you go. See, I knew it wasn't going crazy.
Okay, hold on, I'm curious. Alright, this is at maximum. I have
Yeah,
no idea what this sounds like.
Bad.
Alright,
Sounds bad.
back to nothing.
You would need.
Okay.
I'll have to check out what that sounded like later. Anywho, so I'm constantly thinking of like what's going on and reactionary to things. When you guys ended a session, there was a 50-50 chance that the map you were going to be going to already existed, or I was going to make it before the session. For real, I live on this delicate fucking knife's edge of getting things done. That's always just how I do D&D campaigns. It's even worse when I'm doing things in person because I don't need to make maps. I play theater of the mind. So I can actually I can spend the day of planning. And Snoo, what were you and Chalk's reaction when I told you guys this?
Real small. Also, what?
What were your guys'
Reaction to when you told us what?
That's how I do DMing. That's my DMing style.
Oh, we were both just like, that's fucking witchcraft. You're literally doing actual magic in the house.
Y'all didn't
Because
believe
the way
I was
Chalk
doing.
and I as DMs do our stuff is meticulous planning. Like, we are spending hours planning things.
Mm-hmm.
And then this motherfucker just sits at the table and just does it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird way that people work. There are so many different ways that you can DM. Having dabbled in that side of things myself a little, it can be, yeah, you can try and plan everything, but even then, like, you could plan everything down to the last letter as to how you envision a session going. But then what you've got to remember is you've got 4 to 5 other people that are going to be sitting in front of you, throwing wrenches in all of your plans.
Oh, you gotta be able to.
Players exist for nothing more than to just fucking uproot your entire plan. If you want to meticulously plan and write out how things do, don't run a D&D game. Write a book.
Write a book.
Just write a book. Yeah.
Just write some scenes. It doesn't matter. But what you want to do is you just want to write a story. You don't want to run a D&D game.
No. Yeah.
It's what makes certain events stand out. I know that this is all detracting from a statement from Tree. I will go back to what we were discussing earlier, Tree.
Okay.
An event that stands out to me of this sort of thing does actually entirely involve around the Frife and the Frife's creation. From that card coming up, and initially in my plans, it was the matriarch who you were drawn to. in my initial setup, when that card got drawn, I was just like, "Fuck! You got married to the bad guy."
Yeah.
And then I was trying to, like, I had an idea of who they were and what they looked like, but I didn't have anything for them because I didn't expect them to suddenly show up. So that's why we had the Maiden in Black initially as a token, because it was just like a person covered in wax. Hey, here we go, Maiden in Black, demon souls. They've got wax over their eyes. That'll work. And then once that was done and I had that time difference to think things over, I was just like, okay, you know what? Let's put this into perspective. Let's talk about this in my head. Let's discuss what it even means that they are technically the princess, not the queen. The queen would be a different thing and made them invalid. So that means that this is a daughter. Are they a biological daughter or not? Does that even matter? And I decided, you know what, that doesn't actually matter, and could be a fun thing to keep ambiguous until, you know, the twist reveal that they're the same, you know? Then it was like, okay, so what is the deal with them? Why are they helping? And then I just came up with, what if they are going to recruit the party to essentially kill their mom, who's the actual problem, the one that Katros knows. And then because they were a thing of a stated maiden of stars and frogs, and there was already this whole religious side to it, I asked what would be somebody, because the frog thing's whatever. What does the stars come into it? And I decided divination. You know, looking to the stars for signs about the future and things. That's a very mysticism common thing. We do it even in today. So what if she had future knowledge? Maybe not exact, but to the point. You know, that things could happen that are different. So when Melody died, and it was already stated that the Frife knew thing, it came across as, at least what I was trying to portray it as, in they knew that this was going to happen, but they were going to do their best to try and stop it, hoping that things could be different. But the world refused to change, essentially. That's one of those moments of my improv story things I feel coming out strong. It gave some credibility to the character, it gave some credibility to the moment, and it made things feel a little more together, cohesive. That's the word I wanted, cohesive.
Yeah, I would agree.
So that was going to be a whole fun problem initially, because the matriarch being the enemy of your creation, or our creation, I should say. When it was at the initial stages before they became a separate entity, I thought it was going to be this fun bout of, you're dating the person who you're married to the person who killed my fucking home and was responsible for the death of my brother. I thought that would be a fun thing, but then I realized, no, Catrus is probably just going to take you out alongside with your wife.
Yeah, that's a strong possibility.
To give myself some credit, though, after doing all that, again, this was the one I put the most effort into. When I was saying that I had all these notes I was going through, I did mean it. I have not one, but 2 different folders for D&D assets that I was constantly opening and going through. I had some stat blocks and sheets that I had in a separate folder that I was rummaging through. And then I would use my Firefox browser to go through monster stat blocks that I had saved to reference for things. But most of the enemies I repurposed from what they are supposed to be into something that I felt fit the thing better. You know? The final boss was a enemy that's a CR10 monster called a Phantom that I gave some legendary actions to and made it one of the biggest creatures in D&D. D&D monster scales don't ever get as big as I made that.
No, they never get that big.
They never get that big.
Ridiculous.
That was a creature that was bigger than even a Tarask.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is...
Is a Tarask the biggest creature?
massive.
I don't know if they're necessarily the biggest, but I know they're one of them.
If not the big, the only thing that I could probably say could be bigger would be a god.
It'd probably be
Because
Cthulhu.
in it- Oh, yeah, same thing. Like, a god essentially can be as big as they want to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at them. Rocky fan art.
Yeah, the Rocky fan art.
Rocky fan
Technically the only fan art, because this other art I have, it was a commission.
Looky damn. Was that from Leo?
That's from Leo, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got basically a bunch of headshot sketches commissioned from them.
Oh, it's Catros.
Got it at the party.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Ferrum one.
Yeah. Catrus and
Oh,
Ferrum look so fucking tired.
But they are.
They are all the time.
I don't remember the last time they properly slept on this whole journey.
Like the open
I think the last time either of them properly slept is when we first woke up on the No Regrets and the campaign started.
You said that, I mean, like, Farron's fine. He only needs 4 hours of sleep. And it's not even sleep, it's trance. It's for free.
Speaking of sleep.
Do you know, I think when the
Oh,
last
sorry.
time Catros slept was?
What?
When she was in the hut on the first of the campaign and fucking Melody tried to, like, read her thoughts while she was
Yeah.
sleeping. I think
No,
that
that's
was
not what I was
legitimately
trying
the
to do.
last time
That's
she
what I was
slept.
trying to do. I was trying to use thaumaturgy to make disturbing noises to give you a nightmare. That's what I
That
was
was
doing.
legitimately the last time she slept.
And it didn't work. We rolled a die and it didn't work. It wasn't scary. Cat just didn't give a fuck.
No fucks given.
Oh.
You guys were resting on the boat, in between things.
Yeah.
However, I do want to bring up the insanity of your guys's, can-do attitude, to say the least.
Yeah. Oh, I got disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm back.
Did you die?
I think I'm uploading too many pictures and it doesn't like me for that.
You died.
I did.
Our can-do attitude.
You guys did a majority of, this adventure in one day. And
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, these motherfuckers were like on the move. I don't think we fully acknowledged how fast the characters were doing things in universe.
I mean, let's just chalk up part of it just to Farum, as one of his abilities is quite literally I forced march essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, we John Wicked it.
You guys went so fast into it. You so quick into all of this that the most you would ever do is a short rest here and there, and I feel like I was the one who was responsible for you guys having a short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. I've put all but this one Catrice and Rocky drawing at the top of all of the art I've made over this campaign, related to this campaign. And also some concept art of Melody from 2019.
I'm sorry, the melody with the chair with the Catros, that's fucking hilarious.
That one's
Seen
my
that.
favorite. That one's my favorite shit post.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Let's go through
I
this.
titled that one Menace Behavior.
I
was so
completely
funny.
forgot about the one where I'm just in between both of you and I'm just looking up.
Yeah, that was the first art I made of the party, and I didn't like how Farum turned out because I didn't know how to draw a head looking up well. But I like how Catrice and Melody turned out because they're not having to look up.
Intent fishing. Oh, the original concept design I had for Melody.
Yeah, the original concept design of Melody.
You fucking love Catrice.
I was struggling so fucking hard with drawing Catrice's new token. I had to restart like 3 or 4 times because I fucking hate sketching in digital format. So I was just like, fuck it. Here's some fucking scrap paper right here. I'll just try and sketch it up. Got it first try. I was so fucking mad.
Here's some scrap paper right here. My grids I use for making maps.
Yeah. That one was just a loose paper though. It wasn't the notebook.
I got some
Also,
things
that's
ready
part of
for.
Crife when I was having a moment at 7 in the morning and hadn't slept yet.
Yeah.
What, were there any moments during this campaign when you were like, genuinely, these guys are dumb as fuck? Was it during the riddles? I can imagine.
It was not during the riddles. The riddles I was laughing because what kept happening is someone would say the right answer and then doubt would set in.
That is just synonymous with just how adults are. We'll
Yeah.
say the most exact answer, and then suddenly we will start overthinking it because we're like, nah, that's too fucking simple. We need to think this shit out. And we just doubt ourselves
I
into
still love-
oblivion.
What was it when I said, what was it? I said needle and Stu thought I said storm. It's the worst miscommunication we had.
I don't know how that happened, man. I think my brain turned off.
Dude,
No idea what
Well, no, that's the thing. I heard the same thing, because I think it cut off the beginning part of what you were saying, Trinky.
but I
But
heard
even then,
needle.
what I end up hearing, I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense anyway. It's like, I didn't hear needle, but it's like, I could see that, but I'm like, am I sure? Well, what am I even hearing here?
I feel like all of us immediately was just like, I think I'm going insane.
So it wasn't
I'm
like
like, going.
any-
I'm already insane.
it
It's
wasn't
fine.
like a puzzle moment that was getting to me. No, what got to me was constantly and consistently an enemy would be on the verge of death and none of you would attack them. It was so commonplace. I would be swinging my mouse around the enemy's health bar to the audience, which was usually like a 2. And it's just like, oh yeah, I swing and I miss, or I'm gonna use my abilities to buff ourselves or fix things. Or someone's kinda hurt, they're almost bloody, I should deal with that. And it's just like, if you just killed this motherfucker right now, all your problems would be over. Just end his life. Just fucking do it, please. The worst example was the final fight.
Oh, when he had 1
Yeah.
HP.
He had fucking 2 HP!
I was trying. If I
And I
didn't
hit
miss
him!
like 4 shots.
Missing! Healing! Missing! Doing other shit! Ah!
My guy, I was on 2 HP. I had to heal.
You missed 2 of your cannonball shots! I don't know how!
I missed 4 cannonball shots. Thank you very much.
Fucking it's absurd. Oh my god, it hurt. It
Some of those
fucking
cannonball rolls were bad.
it fucking hurt. I was in shock because hitting this thing wasn't that difficult, but it kept happening. You guys were missing, and I was like, you have to roll. Most of you have to roll like a 5 to hit him.
Yeah, we rolled pretty shit. Like, we
Yeah,
either roll really good or we roll really shit, and we rolled really shit for like most of this last campaign.
So it's kind of like, look how big he is. How can you miss the broadside of a barn door? But you're still managing it.
You're still figuring out, like, how do I explain cannonballs missing a creature the size of a fucking series of skyscrapers duct taped together?
Well, because that's actually a thing that I have seen for like tips of how to describe a miss without just saying you missed. And it was just like, instead of it simply just being you missed, it could just be that they block it, you know, or they parry it, or what have you.
Yeah.
The flavor text.
Yeah.
I like the idea of clashing, where you go to do your attack and then the enemy like manages to deflect it, or you hit their armor more, or anything like that.
Or
And
get
I
into,
did
like a sword lock or something.
sword lock, yeah, stuff like that. Really cool, dramatic things. I didn't do it as much as I wanted to in the campaign admin, but I did put it in a couple of things. That end encounter, I had an idea for what that end encounter was going to be around the time you guys were running around the quote-unquote Swiss Alps out there in the snow. Is kind of when I had an idea of where things were going to end and how it was going to end. So when you guys got to the manor and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, oh yeah, I know how this is gonna go fucking great. That being said, I will admit that I was guilty of something that we were all guilty of. I was forgetting all the things that you guys could do. The worst example of this is I forgot that at one point Melody had the ability to understand every language and read every language.
And anytime I tried to use it, it didn't matter.
I fucking forgot entirely.
Yeah.
Oh man. I felt bad.
Speaking of abilities that never really came up, I have mentioned to others in passing, at the very least, what was up with Farron's eye, but I'm not entirely sure if I've ever fully explained it to anyone other than Mox.
I don't believe so.
I think so.
So, the eye patch, as we did at least touch on in like one of the final sections, is actually a spell focus. That symbol on the eye patch does act as one. But Farum isn't actually blind in that eye. So he can actually see in that eye. The problem is, I mean, it touched on with the Raven. The Raven was actually missing one of its eyes. One of its eyes has the symbol of Anarchy in it. It should have had two. But once I got the Raven, I kind of backed it into this a little more. But essentially, the eye that Farum has is the other eye from my Raven familiar. But was also a spell focus. So if the eye patch was removed and I didn't have my shield, which also had a spell focus on it, I still had the ability to cast spells. The problem is that spell focus was inside my head. So it was very much risk-reward and a last resort kind
There
of
was
thing.
a desperate scenario conversation we had about this. There is a game I likened it to that Snoo is familiar with, but I don't think Trinket is, called Soul Sacrifice. Which in that game of sorcerers, you can actually do a thing called a black rite, where you offer up a piece of your body in order to do a very powerful spell. But once it was done, you had to suffer the consequences, and it was rough. And the eye was one of them, and it would basically give you a really cool, like, railgun laser thing. But when it was all said and done, half the screen was gone. And this was a Vita game, so yeah. Yeah.
But that was the concept behind it, is that I could still cast spells with it. But we never really came up with a mechanic because it never really something that really came up. But I imagine it would be roll a D100, and depending on the severity,
yeah, it would have been a high or low situation, yeah.
To see whether essentially the eye explodes because of the magical power going through it, and causing a ton of problems.
Yeah, because your eye exploded in your head.
Yeah, again.
Again.
In your brain.
How much of an insanity was it bringing you to when I couldn't find the guy, even though I stood right next to him? Because I literally was cry laughing with tears because of how stupid the situation was.
So there's a funny moment and a funny story that Stu shared about that just really encapsulates my feelings on the matter, and I'll talk about this here more in a second. You were like 15 feet away from him.
Yeah.
I believe you.
And
you were almost on top of him.
You were almost on top of him. And holy shit.
For an assassin, I have shit perception.
Holy shit, it was so fucking funny.
Honestly, I was like cry laughing because I knew because Snoo had said something that I must have been really fucking close, and I just couldn't get it. Like I couldn't
put a timestamp, and because I had to go into the chat to do that, and I looked at the stream, and I was like, "You're fucking kidding me."
Honestly, I was like, come on.
I will admit that particular stream was a difficult one for me. Because there were parts that I was legitimately getting upset. Most of the campaign, I will say, I had my frustrations, but they were personal frustrations. Nothing I was ever going to, I wasn't gonna hold any of it or whatever. It was just like, guys, please stop hitting the poor man with the door. Guys, please. Stuff like that, right?
I forgot about that part.
Forgot about the door.
I forgot what the that.
When Snoo started metagaming, and they kept doing it that particular session, I was actually getting upset.
Yeah, and you're right to be upset about that. That was a dick move on my part. And
you knew better is the thing.
That is, it is. I did know better. I'm not a new player. I can't just, it's not like I fucking wouldn't think about it. No, I know better. I have been playing for years.
And the fact
Yeah.
that altered things so radically, I don't blame Drinky for doing what they did. It just was just like, oh, cool. So this whole fucking encounter just died because you ended up peeking behind the screen and saw the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't seen it. I was working off of an assumption.
Yes,
But
you were acting on knowledge you shouldn't have had.
Yeah. Well, that was where my gut reaction, even without Snu saying it, was where they were gonna have been. That's why I moved there in the first place, because I was like, that this is more than likely just like looking at the map.
Yeah. Well, because at first it was just all it was a point eastward, and it's like, okay, the looking at the map, this is like a raised platform up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it stood out. I got that. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was when you couldn't find him because of the poor rolls, but because of what Snoo said, well, I guess I should keep going. It's just like, you'd have probably moved on otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand how close I was to getting into that bag of holding.
Yeah.
That is always something that I grapple with. It's like, okay, at what point, like, am I from a personal standpoint metagaming with reasonable knowledge deductions that I can make as a player rather than what my character is making? And it's something that for the entire length of time that I've done D&D that I constantly grapple with. It's like, am I being fair to me, to the DM, to the story they're trying to tell, to the other players at the table?
I think, like, for me, obviously as a new player, I know like jack shit about like anything. So, you know, like times like Snoo when you died the first time, like, from my perspective, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're fighting like a vampire type thing, but I don't know how that works in this game, so Snoo's probably fucking dead. I was like,
vampires are fucking scary. There are some monsters that just have an instant kill move, and it fucking sucks.
But I didn't know anything. Like, I had a rough guess, but I couldn't like tell you, oh, that was exactly what was gonna happen, because I don't know.
I think something that muddies the water with some meta-knowledge things is the addition of Kidia.
Yeah.
Because she's an example of a character who actually has that sort of Deadpool fourth wall thing. Technically speaking, she can hear what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Melody.
It's a whole thing.
Not Melody, but no.
Yeah.
Fuck. Never mind.
Hi, Melody, you say while stressing Kidia.
Yeah, hey, Kidia. I'm sorry, Kidia. You can smite me, it's fine. I don't care.
We're not gonna
Hi, Kidia.
They muddy the waters with it because they have that ability. So there is a point with it that it was just like, I wonder how upset or confused, like, Kronzi or Trinky are, that I'm getting upset at Snoo over this meta-knowledge play when there's explicitly a character who has that ability in here that I'm okay with.
Well, the thing is, because it's different with Kidia because you were in control of Kidia.
Yeah.
Like, Kidia could quite simply, just in your head, be told, do not mention this, and she can't.
Where does Kidia go at the end of our campaign? Because obviously we all go back through the...
That's a great question that actually hasn't been addressed yet.
Well, technically, it has been slightly addressed. It just hasn't been, like, fully talked out.
It hasn't happened yet. You could say they're still heading home. Where that ends up being is still a mystery.
So, for the Poor Chem crew, we have a place called the City,
But you
which
guys were
at
in
first
Act.
was we were in the city in campaign for a brief moment when we first talked to Kedia.
Yeah.
But what the city is, it's just a place for us to let our characters from different campaigns interact with each other. And this started out just to be like a fun little thing, and then mostly Mox and I just kept going with it and turned it into something a little more important.
It became something that characters could learn and grow and become different things, or become twisted in some cases, or get worse in some cases. It's, in a sense, it's a place with of causality without effect, as besides personal growth and changes, nothing that happens in the city inherently means anything. There's no currency in the city. You don't have to worry about money. Food is always readily available. Everyone has a place to live in. Everyone has a home. It's just different from character to character because it's where your character would call home. Even if they hate it, you're stuck with it.
So, in essence, it's a shared mind palace.
Yeah,
you could say that. And some of the things that came about it, my favorite being the fact that I fucking burned down a kingdom in a campaign I had nothing to do with. Yeah, that was the real thing.
What happened is one of my characters, Tomb, is so to say he's related by blood would be not correct, but he's essentially the son of one of my first D&D characters, or not even D&D, but one of my first tabletop characters, Karen Malton. And Karen is married to Ash, which is the character from the first campaign our table played. And Ash is a little defensive about Tomb. And Tomb has been going on different adventures in different universes, essentially. And when he explained to Ash that he got executed in the human kingdom of Everona, he's fine. He doesn't really die when he dies, but he got better. But when he explains that to her, she said nothing, essentially just nodded her head. And then a little while later, that kingdom has been exploded.
Salted the earth style exploded.
Yeah, like no recovery.
Like an instant undead apocalypse corrupted the land, blighted and drained. Hardly any survivors, and the king of the land was drinking the souls of its populace.
Cheery.
Yeah.
All because
one dickhead hurt Tomb's feelings.
Yeah. It is one of the craziest things ever, and I think it's a trick I will only get to pull off once, because I think if I was to ever approach any other DM in our group about adding something to their campaign or coming up with a fun extra scenario, everyone is going to be like, why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Anywho, that is outside of the Blue Flame stuff. Relevant, but it's outside of the Blue Flame stuff.
Yeah, I just got. I'm just obviously imagining, because obviously if Kedia was pulled into the campaign, were they then pulled? Were they on like a standby, or were they in the middle of something else that they had gotten pulled out of at the time?
So Kedia is in a unique position?
They're like Schrodinger's cat. They exist in a quantum state where they exist everywhere and nowhere at the same time. If they are quote-unquote observed, that's where they are at the time.
Yeah.
So while they were in Blue Flames, they were still in the city. They were still on this fucking desert island that they've been washed up on. And anywhere else they may have been at.
And she's technically still in Eternus, isn't she?
She is technically still in Eternus, though whether she stays there or not has yet to be decided. Gonna get him home.
Right, tell us some more of the backstory then for where we ended up for Kedia. Because we did end up somewhere for Kedia, didn't we?
Yes. That was
yeah, that's fair.
That was her homeland.
Okay, so that map. In fact, give me a second. I actually have a unique thing.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The second I saw the map, my heart immediately, like, it simultaneously sank and fluttered because, oh my god, fucking that hamlet haunts me personally.
Able to put anything here? Maybe I can drag and drop.
You should be able to upload an image.
It's not opening.
Oh yeah, I had to leave the table and rejoin it to be
Oh
able to...
yeah, so I have found that if you click in the gray area, it gets you out of the editing thing. And if that doesn't work, then you can just quit and rejoin.
How do I... There we go. Leave. Join activity. Whiteboard. Because I realize I have the actual image that's for that thing. It's still not letting me. It's still not opening. I'm just gonna send this to Snoo. You can.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I lost my mouse for a second. No, let's go.
Uh-oh.
Where you be? How come
you... I had to make sure that my mouse wasn't on the game that we were playing last night.
Yeah, I had to move it away a few times and it kept winding up in the same spot. Again, I have to find this. I have several different map things because I have it separated from maps I've made.
The DM has multiple maps? Wow.
No, that's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. No, I had multiple map folders. One's for ones I made and one's for ones I used.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. I need to save this to put it in the whiteboard.
So, that was the location of the campaign that she was a part of. A campaign from a system called Nemesis that we altered, or I should say I altered, putting more D&D like qualities into it to the point that it became something a little different. So it became in essence a Neo Nemesis, which is what the namesake of the campaign ended up getting.
Yeah.
The Abbey at the top was essentially her home that the other players lived in. I could go on an aside and explain in detail if you'd like. It's going to take a moment, though.
Yeah, all we have is time.
Is that fine with you two?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Pinky?
I asked the question.
Alright, fair enough. Okay, so...
That's a fair answer.
So that door that was chained in the back center, that's where the game began. Inside of that room is a place I would describe as chaotic. Bits of debris from various different locations all smashed together, and in the center are 3 statues, each a different hero. Remember those statues you guys saw out in the water? Those were the statues you saw. It's really funny though, one of them never got seen even though it was there. I'll talk about that more in a second. Those were the heroes that were going to be destined to awaken, essentially, to be the heroes of this adventure. Kedia was meant to be their guide into the land to show them things, and she was meant to have a sort of sad story. She was helping them basically learn the layout of the land. That strange sealed off area at the back behind the tents that you found, Roxy, was a place called, that was basically a dungeon. It was a dungeon of a set number of floors, but the rooms inside of the dungeon would change. And they would go through and explore, and they would try to get to the end, essentially, where they would be able to either go back or challenge the sort of boss thing there and descend further and further into the depths of whatever this place was. Sort of roguelike. Roguelikes were a thing we were doing at the time, and I really liked.
Roguelikes for a tabletop.
Roguelikes for a tabletop, yeah. A lot of this was sort of based off of Darkest Dungeon, and that's why it was even called a Hamlet, is because we were all really into Darkest Dungeon at the time. The town that was dealt with over here was the town that had a race of essentially like goblins that lived outside of it. Partially because I needed a populace to be there, and partially to showcase that there were really strange things here, more than just what was represented. Neo Nemesis exists in a state of essentially a bunch of different settings that were all literally smashed together. So things didn't make sense. There were a lot of things that didn't technically mesh, and it was supposed to represent it. Why is Scilab's not allowed? What do you mean, why is Scilab's not allowed?
I'm seeing some
We're in Blue Flame chat.
messages from Scilabs. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know how to allow them.
It's because we're in the Blue Flame Discord channel, not in the...
Do we need to give them permission?
No,
General.
it's in his
No,
Twitch
it's in the
stream.
stream.
Oh.
Oh.
Shared ban info restricted, banned in Moth Girl streams. What?
What?
I don't know.
Oh no, okay, so what that means is Lotus has either done a joke ban on Scilabs or has banned Scilabs. I think it's probably a joke ban. And because Lotus has all of us on a shared ban list,
Oh, it auto bans them in yours.
it auto bans on anyone who shares that ban list.
Oh.
I see.
I'm not on the shared ban list, so haha. Talk in my chat, Silas, but I'm not live.
Oh no.
I think I know I've shared ban list with someone.
Oh no. To keep going. Yeah, so like these goblins, it was supposed to be like why is Kedia a satyr but the town is populated by goblins, you know? Little questions here and there. The result that you saw within this place is sort of a result of the adventures that happened there. There's this group of travelers that managed to enter this place, which was a big deal, and they took residence near the dungeon, sort of plundering its resources for their own. There was the populace within there and the various people. There was a dryad that became friends with a version of Karen that was there.
I love her.
Why? There was the sort of mechanic brothers called the Bros, who lived in a little shack next to the giant pile of junk that had an actual understanding of the mechanics within that place, but they have the problem of they understand how to make things and they understand how machines work, but they don't understand the purpose of what a machine is. An example is they were using a fucking combustion engine as a food processor.
You do.
God, I forgot about that. Oh, I love the Goblin Bros.
Um,
So funny.
most of the goblins that were about here were all technically hostile towards the party, though. Not in the way that they would necessarily throw hands, they were too cowardly to do that, but because of their affiliation with Wikipedia. I said that she has a tragic story, and it's true. The that giant smoke monster you guys sort of fought was a creature that wiped out her entire clan. Sole survivor kind of stuff. Which is why when she saw it again, she kind of panicked. The reason why it was a big deal that there were even travelers that came about here is at the end of these two paths, from where you started into what was on the other side, was a wall of fog. If you guys had stepped through that fog, you would have wound up on the other side of the path. And vice versa. So how the hell did people get from the outside in, right? The water actually functions similar. If you were to have dived into the water from the cliffside, you would have wound up on the opposite end. The fact that the players then used that as a mode of fast travel was really funny to me. But they did.
Hey man, it worked.
They also had a fight with a giant colossal snowman that fell into there while they were sort of embedded into it because it rolled down the hill. And they had to fight it while constantly falling and rising. Some crazy shit. Hi, Wisp. This is that little building off to the side. While the church ended up being their home, she didn't live in there. Those doors at the top there that had rooms were sealed off. She kind of made her own home out of just whatever bits and pieces she could get her hands on. That barricade in front of there was erected by the goblins to keep her out. And she was sealed away in this little tiny island, little cliffside, for thousands of years. Locked away on her own. The side of this that isn't readily available and readily known is why all of this happened in the first place. And it's because of Kedia. I think I've talked about her story before, but here, to be just concise. This isn't the first time these heroes awoke. This wasn't the first time she went on an adventure with them. But it was at the end of that particular journey that she kind of had to come to the realization that she wasn't somebody who was looked as one of these heroes. She was just somebody who helped them, a footnote in their story, essentially. And that didn't sit well with her. At the end, they were journeying to a place that was literally a stairway into heaven, where it was said that if you were to reach the top, you would be granted a wish. So she got there before everyone else and made that wish. Wish was to be important. And that's what she got. She got to be someone important. And she got basically a hero character's backstory, including the dead family and everything that becomes associated with them. Except she didn't become the hero. She became the villain. That was the role that she ended up fitting. And so throughout most of the campaign is this really awkward unease she has with everybody. Her shy demeanor isn't real, per se. It's an act. It's to make people disarmed by her, so you don't expect the knife into your back. Her strength is sort of consistent and persistent. And something you guys experienced that was never really brought into more discussion, though Snoo certainly was suspecting things, was when she gave you guys your blessings. Those weren't just things that she was giving because I made her give. Those are things that she has innately inside of her. She has a finite pool of these tokens, you could say, that can alter reality. Part of her wish, you could say. We called them God token. The campaign for Neo Nemesis never actually got a chance to end. What ended up happening, and I think this is honestly the best way it could have gone besides actually coming to an end, is they managed to basically get a car together and found out the secrets of how to travel to other lands and headed down the path over at the back end here and ventured out into the world where the campaign stopped because of personal issues.
Things outside of the actual story.
Yes.
Which, admittingly, if that stuff didn't happen, we as players would not have learned to not be constantly pushing your buttons but it was effectively, I think it was me and Chalk, and I think that guy, but it was mostly me and Chalk, I think, basically harassing Mox because the campaign had gone on hiatus, and we ended up bothering him so much that he just goes, "I'm not running it again." And we were like, oh, well, shit, fuck, okay.
You guys also wouldn't stop forcing me to play the same character.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... There's no other way to put it. A character who never got shown in this thing, a statue of a boy who you guys never saw. His name is Ardent. My own character addition to things, which I know is funny considering PD and all that, but that's not the point. The point is that there was another. I enjoyed playing that that boy who was just smart enough to get himself into trouble, but not skilled enough to get himself out of it. Also, hello, Silent. You guys were just like, you should play Arden. You should do Arden in this campaign. You should play him in this. And it got to the point that I hated the character.
Yeah.
We mentioned the city before. The city is absolutely where Kedia's story really begins, if you think about it. She was who she was in here, but she didn't become what she was until she was in the city. And now, she's a reform villain. She's trying to be a good person. She's trying to change who she was and what she did, because that boy I mentioned before is someone that she cares about, and he lost all respect for her after he learned that he was basically being used as a weapon and a shield by her. She has an ability, or had, I should say, that if damage was to come to her, she could actually summon Ardent to take the hit or deflect the attack, which at first wasn't a big deal. There were a bunch of little things like this that the other characters could do, so no one really thought about it. But in the revelation that she's the bad guy, any damage that went to her was going to go to him. She was going to literally use him as a goddamn hostage in the event that a conflict actually arose. And he didn't like that. He didn't like that he'd been manipulated. He didn't like that everything had been used against him like this, and that he's almost nothing but an object to her. That's changed. But he's gone. He's left. He's on his own. And she's choosing to give him the space. She hopes that the two of them could be friends, at the very least. But she's just in that process of still trying to improve herself. And that's the version of Kedia that you guys got to meet. The one with all of these terrible, terrible things, but isn't the person she used to be. Actually, her first real outing as a new hero.
Yeah, this is the first actual campaign she had been a part of in years.
Wasn't supposed to. It wasn't supposed to be there.
No, but rolled a 1 on a D1000.
I hope that answers those questions.
Yes.
Kind of a literal monkey's paw with the wish she made.
It really was. She didn't know
Yeah.
the full extent of it. How could she? She was a child at the time.
She was a child at the time when it happened. I just dropped a bunch of things. No.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna be depressing. I'm not gonna share those sides of things. Yeah, she could have never known that there was going to be a price for her wish. And technically speaking, those heroes didn't go away.
No.
They persisted,
Like that version
like
of
fucking badasses.
Yeah.
They the strengths that they had accumulated went to her to fulfill her role of where she was going to be. The reason she's as strong as she is she's 3 heroes in a trench coat, essentially. And those heroes, like the fucking lingering will from Kingdom Hearts, refuse to die. And in a sense, still are pursuing her. They've been sort of addressed. They're not gone.
I don't think she can fully get rid of them on her own.
They need to be addressed in a organic way. They have to be dealt with for realsies, and not hypothetically.
Yeah. Which is funny. Everything that happens in the city is technically a hypothetical.
Which means it's why it's a place without causality. Or causality without consequence. Except some clever people who found workaround.
Yeah.
Anywho. I guess anything else you want to know about her before we move on? Alrighty.
Why have I just found, sorry, completely off topic, still going through my clips. Why have I just found a clip of me cry laughing, like wheezing, and telling chat not to name my belly button? What?
No context.
What used to happen in these Minecraft streams, man? Jesus.
Oh, it's Minecraft? That's
what?
what
Minecraft, yeah, no, like you were streaming at like 4 a.m. in the morning. What were you expecting?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I used to do 8-hour streams like every day.
1 second. I've lost my mouse. My mouse is just... Here we go. There we go. I made my point.
Made your point about what?
You know damn well.
Huh? What do you mean? Oh, where'd he go? And no one else saw that.
Good. Don't worry about it.
I saw you delete it. I got no idea what it was.
Don't worry about it. Back to Blue Flame. Happier moments, happier things. What are some of your guys' favorite Blue Flame moments?
When Snoo pulled that epic roll the other day.
Oh yeah,
against
dude.
the
Oh
shell?
my God.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was
I
insane.
am still riding that fucking high, because holy shit. First time I've ever had a Vorpal weapon, and the first time I get a fucking 20 with it. Which, first of all, getting the 20 after a fumble because I decided to spend my inspiration. What a fucking golden use of inspiration. And the fact that I got to behead my fucking Warlock patron. Which is pretty fucking cool.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. Cause like for Melody, kind of wanted a more typical sort of abusive patron to the ward sort of relationship.
I wanted to be in an abusive relationship in my fantasy game.
In my fantasy game. Well, because that's the thing. That is like technically a trope for warlocks, is they are reluctantly with their patron, and their patron abuses exploiting the deal that they've made. That was sort of the thing that I wanted, but, you know, Mox likes to tell unique stories, so we changed it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to fucking kill that fucker.
Mm-hmm.
What's wild to me is that entire Sonic song that was playing in the background started when you got up and ended when you won.
Yeah, it was so fucking cool. Everything about that scene was fucking awesome to me. That's absolutely, I think, my favorite moment.
The highlight.
Yeah. Also, when Melody ate dirt, that was pretty funny.
I almost brought that back up while you guys had arrived on that one beach before you went into the riddle dungeon.
Yeah.
So there was a real chance. There is an alternate reality where Melody finds Naru washed up on the shore, and it's just like, Naru! And starts shoveling sand in their mouth. It's a very real reality.
Also, it was only mentioned in the epilogue, but I don't know if anyone caught on to it, but Naru is actually a girl.
Yeah, no, I caught on, which is like that's a surprising revelation.
Yeah, so Naru is a girl. Naru is a girl because they are a woman at sea. that is the reason why they're pretending to be a boy. That's the whole reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're the only woman on a boat full of men for months at a time, I'm sorry, that's dangerous.
True.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, is like Crescendia didn't give a shit about that. In the original backstory, she's like essentially an all-powerful wizard. No one's gonna fuck with her.
Yeah, Naru didn't have that.
Yeah. Otherwise, he'll be cursed with mend butt crack.
The thing is, Naru had been... Fuck. Literally got him.
That's really good, man.
Again.
Yeah, no, the thing is, Naru had been sailing since they were a little kid, so...
Hold on, I'm gonna share this. This is for Ronzi. Ronzi hasn't actually seen this video. I want Ronzi to experience it in its majesty.
See live right now.
You guys all want to watch it. It's fun. I guess I could. I guess I could.
Yeah.
Get a after, I think. Weird.
Oh, and the wizard's Scottish.
Aw. The audio in it cut out right before the funniest bit.
Oh, really? Well, we still haven't seen it over here, so... Oh, there we go. Now I've got it to capture it. Real quick.
Testicular torsion casters are always acting tough.
Why is it so quiet?
Testicular wizard casts. Mend! Butt crack! You rapscallion!
You're right, it doesn't have the funniest part at the end. It doesn't have the part where he goes, "You rapscallion! I used to be so peggable!" You know, we're actually
I told that joke to Moggs, and the first time, it really fucking killed him when I said that line.
It fucking killed me when he said it the other day.
I actually have a thing we could do real quick if we're down for it.
What is it?
I have a bunch of clips open.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Will we watching clips together?
We could watch some clips. Get back into a discussion afterwards.
Yeah.
Screen. Get to share screen. Share. I'm sharing that one.
So Gecko,
Oh.
move down to melee.
It just went over to doing this thing. Can you guys see the clip?
Yes.
Yes.
What the hell? What the hell? Okay.
Would you highlight everything?
I didn't. There we go.
Oh right.
So Gecko, you move down to Melody.
Hey, Melody.
This is my good acting moment that I
She
like.
looks over to him.
We're heading toward the land. You gonna come?
I should. And she'll start to sit up.
Before we do, I wanted to ask you something.
Oh?
What's with the tail?
Funny thing is, I could not find the part 2 to this.
That's really weird, but also it's not too surprising. It
It's-
was weirdly the less viewed one, even though it was that was just the context clip. Let me see if I can find it and I can send it to you.
The campaign, or the session,
Genuine question.
they asked a question.
Is a genuine question.
Yep. They decided to check, hey, Melody grew at the end of the last one, right? What about their clothes? Melody is now basically naked. I thought you would get a hee-hoo out of this.
All butt naked.
Mm-hmm. Ass out. Anywho, Catrice. The hordes. They're descending upon you.
Anywho,
Anywho, the hordes!
the words that I summoned by whacking open the door.
Whacking some dude in the head with a door.
Over and over!
You had to have known that I was gonna have done that, right?
Oh, I
Like,
knew you were going to be the one who caused
I
this
knew,
event.
I know.
I don't
But
think any of us expected it to be so fucking fast, though.
I didn't expect it to be so fast, and I didn't know how it was gonna do it. And to explain that little bit,
The first door I went to, wasn't it?
it was one of them.
Yeah.
If you decided you were going to open the side door to this shop and refused, after I made it clear you were hitting somebody, you just kept doing it. And I was counting, like, how many slights you guys were doing and, like, rude acts you were doing against the town. What's really funny is that one of the other ones that was done by someone else was forgiven because they apologized for it, which I think was Gecko. So it's like,
I think
well,
it was. Gecko.
so it's like, okay, well, you said you were sorry, so I guess that's fine.
As
Oh,
they're
God.
uttering
Oh,
their
fuck.
Untangible words.
Oh, fuck.
The one in the back turns and
Oh, no.
looks at you. Oh no! We have intrudos!
It's still my raid noise. It's still my raid noise on stream. I love it. Every time I hear it.
You can't hear it in the
Interlopers!
clip.
You have entered our sacred, our sacred temple.
I'm surprised you can't even hold it together to get the line out.
You can't hear it in the clip. But when he first did the voice, I
instantly got a
wheezed so
fucking
hard. I wheezed so hard
I
it gave
think I
myself a
was, like,
headache.
Crying. I think I genuinely cried.
fucking
It was so
God.
funny.
Why have I got a 1 there? What the hell's going on with... Oh, that was temporary HP, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Oh my god. Again, this is one of those advantages of, like, the way I do DMing. The map was made, I had the enemies placed day before I was at work being like, okay, what the fuck are these fucking squid fuckers gonna even sound like and things like that. And then I think I was scanning a can of peas and I was just like, oh no, we have Intuitos! And I was just dying at work and I went, that's what I'm gonna do.
I just love it so much.
The idea that fucking what is it, deep speech accent is fucking woo speak is fucking hilarious.
I just love that I love it so much that it's actually my raid thing on Twitch even to this day.
I made a custom recording for you for that, so.
Yeah. I love it. Every time I hear it, it genuinely brings me joy.
Do people ask where that came from?
Sometimes, yeah. And the problem is I always repeat it and I'm like, intruders!
Interwopos. We need to sacrifice
good.
you for our dog god.
Kill.
I just love.
Name destroy.
Yeah, should we mention about how you went to kill them all in the most recent campaign and then got one bang?
What? In my defense, all of them cast at the highest level magic missile on me they could.
No, they
I don't
didn't.
think any of us could have withstood that.
It was like second or third
Somebody
level
did,
magic
though.
missile.
Yeah,
It's
which
so
like magic
funny.
missile just auto hit, so like it sucks. It sucks to just get hit by that.
It's just the way you ran it, isn't it? It was like puddle.
I was even sitting there like planning out, okay, how am I gonna go about this? And then it's like, doesn't matter, I'm down.
I was like, I was making it clear they were up to something when they weren't doing anything.
Yeah, I was planning to try and use one of them as cover, but magic missile doesn't give a fuck.
Magic missile doesn't give a fuck. I genuinely was looking over the available spells they had to, and I was just like, oh, they have magic missile. They have magic missile. Be funny. But at the same time, wouldn't that be a funny? That'd be the whole real gaff, real laugh, real gas.
It's just a prank, bro. It'd be a real funny prank.
Right, don't get so upset at this. Join our cult.
It's just a prank, bro.
I don't like this.
Oh, rapid onset thalassophobia. Alright, that's why I'm laughing.
Uh-oh.
You're fucking kidding! Ferrum!
Yep.
Of all times! Of all things! With you as a naval man who worships the god of the sea,
No.
you suddenly have a phobia of the ocean.
Oh my god!
That's probably one of my
This
favorite
isn't-
moments.
This isn't one of those haha ones that has a time limit.
Trinky's just fucking dying.
Why?
Trinky, I love whenever your laugh just turns into single noises.
God!
When I go like ultrasonic, no one can
Yeah.
hear me but dogs.
Holy fuck shit. Oh, hey, I'm live. Shit.
Yeah, I do that a lot. When I find something like when I'm like genuinely get like laughing. Only seagulls can hear me at that point.
Goddamn. You gotta understand, at that particular point, I was dealing with a massive wall of curses. I had a massive availability of things that could happen. The fact that you fell in the fear category, and then got a fear of fucking ocean.
It's fucking open waters.
On
It's
the
just like...
water!
Yeah, while we were on the water, while we were in the middle of both of that.
Holy fuck, dude. It couldn't have been more perfect. This is one of the things that was so funny to me is I went from having a customized set of things to having a more generalized one that the internet had created to putting my own things within that. And this is one of those bits where it's just like the randomness was always spot fucking on.
It just keeps happening.
It just keeps happening.
The
It's-
dice just decide what the fuck makes sense, and it's right, like every time.
It's so fucking funny.
You burst into
Yeah.
flames.
Oh my god!
She's naked again.
You take 4 points of damage.
I thought that's where you
and
go
for the
immediately.
next round, you will be on fire.
Does this happen before or after I call lightning?
At the same time.
Okay.
You did that. It was all you.
I can't
You
fix
said
that.
4?
You take 4 points of fire damage, yes.
Is Melody naked now?
Melody...
Stop asking that question, I'll kill you!
Melody will deal with that when your fire is out.
I don't think
Alright.
we did.
She just
I'm
fixed
going
her
in the
fucking
water.
clothes.
I need to touch the sea. I need to go to the water.
Fucking
I need to dive in the
Stop asking that question or I'll kill you.
I'll fuck you.
Oh, dude. I do believe we never actually addressed whether or not your clothes got burnt up.
No, I don't think it ever got addressed.
I think we just moved on. Admittingly, there was a lot that was happening in that fight.
There was. It was a big fight.
Oh, hey, it's part 2.
Her eyes get so wide,
The reveal of your
staring at
tail.
Gecko.
Yeah.
Tail? What do you mean?
Look. Normal elves, humans, or whatever you're masquerading as don't have that. So you're either a toothling or something that got touched by the Fae.
Toothling.
No,
Seriously?
I'm a half elf. I promise you, I'm a half elf.
Look, I saw it when I pulled you out of the water. I made sure the others didn't, because I figure if you're hiding it, you got a reason to.
I am a half elf. Just been cursed.
Alright, it's none of my business. I won't tell them, but, you know.
He said like a liar.
Yeah. So I don't remember if Chalk had mentioned. I believe it was going to be like the next session or something. When Melody died to that vampire and came back with, all of her tiefling traits exposed, Gecko was going to rip her mask off and pull her tail out to show the others.
That would have been Catros would have lost her mind.
Yeah.
I probably would have reprimanded Gecko for it because I already knew. Well,
Yeah.
Farum already knew.
Yeah, I believe he told Farum of just like, listen, you're gonna need to be there for Mel. Have you ever heard the concept of a heal?
I honestly, Catros would have bullied you so hard.
Yeah.
And then Catros got
I
their own
fully
pair of
believe-
horns.
Yeah.
Catros, it was messed up already at this point. Like, horns were the least of her problems.
Do you remember the conversation we had
Oh, right, the tentacle.
when
See, it's really funny when
looked
I look
down at
back on
my
this
arm?
campaign now because I genuinely can't imagine what it would have
Yes.
been like if we all liked each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
It's on his own.
the fact there's a tentacle?
Whoa, right.
What are you talking about? You've always had that.
No, I forgot he had that at all.
I don't know how you forgot that!
Listen, I don't know how I forget anything, man, but it just happens.
You just forgot.
I just forgot. I'm sorry. When the mental illness is mental illnessing, it just happens.
Oh, right, the tentacle arm. Farron's tentacle arm. The tentacle arm for Farron. Farron's tentacle arm. The arm that he has that's a tentacle.
That tentacle arm?
That tentacle arm, yeah.
What the? Yeah, that one.
Oh, the running joke.
Shenanigans are waiting for us, dude. Let's go over and say hello to everybody and see what sort of shenanigans are waiting for us in the VC.
Oh, I don't want to show my toes because that's gross.
What a line to come.
Yeah, I'll be
I
honest.
don't even
I
remember what we're
wasn't,
talking about.
I
you're
wasn't
fine.
sure if. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was the clip or you actually just saying that now, Trinky. I'm not gonna lie.
I barely remember that conversation. I think Trinky was like trying to take a picture of something, and you were trying to not have your feet show up in the picture.
Yeah.
Why am I so weird?
The amount of times, the amount of
You're a streamer. You have
times
to be weird. It's
We're
required.
streamers. Yeah.
I
What
just
is wrong with me?
unmute in the Discord, and it's the most unhinged shit. Reoccurring joke to the point that, as you see, I at this point I'm like, I know it's waiting for me.
The only
Depend
time
on it. This
you
is the
didn't come
thing.
in to us talking about some wacky, weird fucking shit was the last session, I think.
This shit was too
Yeah.
serious.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was eating as well.
Oh man, I
I
think that was
actually mute.
probably one of the worst ones.
Not
I
gonna
just
show
don't
my
remember
toes.
what it was, but
Gross.
I really don't even remember what it was about.
The Thrife was the one that got widowed, so she's eligible to regain the effects of ceremony. Am I? Or am I never ever able to get a ceremony again?
I'm impure. It means I can't get married.
I can't get married twice. It doesn't say anything about this in the Bible.
So, would you like to tell our friends about how fucking obsessed you got with the Thrife as soon as they became your wife?
I went insane. I was going insane.
Dude,
I would not stop thinking about her.
Dude, it was genuinely like seeing a teenager in love.
Yeah. Like in the whiteboard, I shared the 2 pictures that I made of the Thrife. As mentioned before, when I didn't sleep that night. It was 7 in the morning. And I needed to draw her, or I was going to like explode or something. My soul was going to fucking kill me. It was going to come out of my body and kill me. I needed to draw her. So I looked up some figure studies and drew her.
You were every night you were asking me questions about them.
I was.
Every night
I was
you were
asking
talking
her.
about things. You tried so hard to get things out of me about them before they were even a character.
Yeah. I loved her.
You
She was my
even
wife.
got to see me like workshop a couple of things by doing some proto art role plays, trying to get an
Yeah.
idea of how she sounded and how she acted.
Yeah. Which, by the way, in the city, Melody and the Thrife are together, as well as Naru.
I do have a little confession to admit about the Brave.
Yeah.
Her design borrows heavily from a meme.
Yeah, that was one of the reference images I had to use when I was drawing her tokens.
How familiar are you guys with the Elder Scrolls?
I'm not going to say fairly, but I have experience with them. I have played 3, 4, and 5 to extents.
That's
Trinky, what about you?
No, not very much.
So there is a character in it. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. There is a character in it who is a deity of primarily the Dark Elves there, by the name of Azura. Right? And Azura does things. They're whatever. That's not the important bit. The important bit is some motherfucker decided that they were going to some motherfucker decided they were going to redo Azura as a fucking neat gamer girl.
Yeah.
So let me just you're gonna see her. You're gonna see her and you're gonna be like,
Get Azura, dweeb. I'm so ironic. The other Daedra will have to recognize my comedic genius. Wait, it wasn't recording? Thanks for helping with the prank, dude.
You can really see where's the inspirations for some of her design comes from.
Huh? Yeah.
Oh my god, I
the
see
entire
it.
purpose of this is to get free the heart and make Dagoth dumb stop being sussy baka.
Sassy Baka.
She was based off
Sassy
of
vodka.
she's based off of a fucking meme, man.
Just call me mommy. Red flower.
What?
It's a red flower inside the box.
But we weren't going to.
Whatever. Back to my nap.
Should we do something?
Like what? Wake up God?
No, I mean, give her a blanket?
She smells like dead Khajiit. I don't want that on my stuff.
Yeah, this is one of the main characters that was the inspiration for the appearance of the Friday. This version of Azura. It's been altered.
It works, it works.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. She didn't say anything of this about the Bible. I only got 2 more clips.
An arm in front of her.
Oh, right.
Wait. You're not one of the regular rabble. You're the god dog. What are you doing in here? Go back out there.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who the fuck are you?
One of my
You know what? Fair.
one of my better in the moment reactions. I think.
Look at you.
Who the fuck are you? Broke into my house. You blew up my wall.
You know what? That's fair. You have a great day, sir. Leaves.
Oh no. I've just found a clip that says, if someone gave me 50,000 bits and asked to see my feet, I would. Given the conversation we just had with the clip, what's wrong with me?
Oh man.
I ain't
Wait,
gave
wait,
you
wait,
two.
wait, wait, but I-
Quite boisterous. Let me see.
The quiet. I've never known a quiet dwarf.
Oh wait, you don't talk about me IRL like that.
You still feel that way, Trinky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, the IRL height chart sends
Yeah.
me because the way that we look like we've got mafia bros kills me. Looks like
Yeah,
we're about to enter into
that
some like
general
mafia
thing, yeah.
negotiations.
That's just the way I always tend to like space out these height charts. Is just having the people of similar heights spaced between like the shorter people usually.
I love it. Honestly, it's so funny.
Fucking hate how short I am. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just gonna have to kill God about it, I guess.
No, don't. Don't do that.
I'm gonna do it.
We're not high
This
enough
time I'm
level.
really gonna
We're not
do it.
high enough level.
I'm really gonna do it this time.
Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed spending your time with Snoop because I'm going to have to kill them now.
Okay.
They're being mean to me in my DM, so they have to die. Someone has a tentacle arm? Yeah, crazy. I know, right? It's just wow.
Crazy shit.
Okay, so question I have about the campaign then is obviously we know that like the banker was influenced by the crystals, right?
Not until the end.
Okay, so how was how did he acquire the crystals in the first place?
Doing the same things you guys did. The banker went on their own adventure.
I see.
You gotta remember that what you were doing was you were doing a dream. You were traveling into dreams. Your guys' ideas of what you were doing, and whoever was more connected to the particular dream, was influencing how that went. Why Thalisbidi was a desert, and why it was assumed that the banker was the one who did it, because there's no way in hell Melody was going to accept that it was just a random circumstance or even divine intervention. It had to have been deliberate from someone else, so an enemy was born from them. Why was the banker prevalent within the elven side of the elven dwarf conflict? Which I don't think it really got well across that the elven side of it was actually coming from Faram's stuff. Again, because the person in charge is the person that you're going after, which was the banker. The only influence that the crystals really had on the banker was when Hedia corrupted them.
Yeah.
And
I think these are the only other clips we haven't watched yet, by the way.
Oh, we have clips?
Yeah, in the Blue Flame chat.
Oh shit, we have clips. Where did these come
Sure,
from?
we have clips. I just searched through the clips I've made.
Oh, we had the secret, but we can go with the other.
Yeah, I shared earlier.
Get them up. It totally isn't. Here, I'll turn button. Then yeah. Are we ready to watch the funny clip?
Yes. What's wrong with lions?
I'm not a big fan of lions.
You'd be lying if you said otherwise. Ah. Myself. I lost 2 viewers as soon as I said that.
You know.
I lost 2 viewers as soon as I said that.
The way you said it was the funnier part. Like, you weren't distraught, you were just like, yep, that was the last 2 viewers.
You did. It just finished right after I said it. I was trying not to make so many puns during.
Hope this works.
Oh no, fumble. Oh my god.
I have a question.
My mic was
Do I
muted
have
at the time.
inspiration?
You should.
I would like to spend it, please.
Go right ahead. Even if you don't, I'm
You
just
can
gonna give it to
hear
you.
my
You
head
roll
in
like
my
shit
fucking
tonight.
hands.
Oh, please.
Fucking kidding me?
It's not a crit fail.
Oh. No. No.
Fucking amazing, bro.
No! No, you are not able to successfully stabilize them!
Fucking Jesus. The dice are so funny.
They really
I apparently have 2 clips that were made. I don't know about the second one, but I'll share the first one for sure.
Your guys' turn. Melody, make a death save.
Okay, there it is.
me.
This is so bad.
I forgot how dire this was.
That's 2 death fails.
You fail.
That's 2 fails.
Yep. Not looking great.
No. No, she isn't.
Who would like to
What time for an ad break?
The fucking commercial started at that moment. Melody's dying. Time for ads. The name of some of these clips, like from what Twitch.
This is going to hurt.
Oh, this is when you got shot.
I might go down.
Okay, first shots do.
Have we taken damage?
I have.
You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and you need to make a dex save.
Okay. I need to pull out a calculator. Oh, fuck.
You are going to be blasted off the side.
Okay. So 32 minus 19.
13.
The second attack.
I'm bloodied. I'm bloodied, y'all.
You take 17 additional.
You're down.
Oh, she's gone.
It's technically 20. I didn't think about it.
Melody has been
You
blown
touched the wrong
completely
person.
off of the boat.
Oh god. I forgot how dire that entire situation was for you.
Yeah, dude, I was getting fucked up.
It's the pocket.
If I had to have
Oh,
a
it was
bed
you
so
in the
big
sex
that I needed
room.
4 sets of pillows to go across it, I would be so happy.
Same, honestly. And I'd still kick Mox off the bed in my sleep.
You would. I need to also open a new playlist for this specific moment.
So many cold pockets on that bed.
I'll find the hot pocket.
My fucking god, shut up!
I haven't even said anything.
I opened my case from what was said. We were playing Angry Up.
Oh, it's so funny. You don't know about them in the background. They're still hidden.
Yeah, he can't see them.
Okay.
You guys get to see some of the funny bits now, like when I have things hidden in the goddamn GM layer and you don't realize what's also in there with you.
Yep.
Oh, one of the funniest ones I don't think it's ever caught was actually when you guys first fought the matriarch, like for realsies, and she gets up from her chair, right? In the middle of that fucking table the entire time was the giant monster.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know about it. And so, like, I know the audience can see it. I no one's saying anything, but, like, I know there's at least one audience member out there who's just like, why are they attacking the frog? Because you guys didn't know they were there. Oh my fucking god. Oh, the DM layer made so many acts of fucking hilarity.
Yeah.
One of the branches near you.
Really quick, actually, I just really remembered one of my absolute favorite moments of the DM layer being so hilarious. It was me setting up and mentioning in the DM layer the trap locations for the fucking paper mache boulder. And Melody walking right out of the room.
One of the branches near you. Fuck off.
I couldn't help it.
Oh, what the hell did you write? Nut.
Nut.
Damn it! I missed it.
I didn't.
Fuck off.
I didn't.
You think you're so funny.
You have a baby?
I'm hilarious. I'm the funniest guy in this room right now.
You think you're so fucking funny.
I'm the funniest man on the internet.
God's funniest soldier.
I am God's funniest soldier. God
This
gives
new
his
is fun.
saddest battles to his funniest clowns.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah?
Okay. It's the like disappointing. Like I could have swore that we just heard teacher Trinky right there. If one of your students said that to you in like a philosophy class or something like that, what would you do?
I'd be like, you okay, bro? And I'd say it exactly like that as well.
Hey, bro.
I had a kid the other day come up to me and be like, "Miss, do you play Fortnite?" I went, "No, but if I did, I'd absolutely smoke you." And he went, "Fair play." Walked off.
We were supposed to play Fortnite at some point.
We won.
Yeah, we were.
We won.
Yeah, we were.
I think we were.
I would never agree to that shit.
You're the one who proposed it!
No.
Yeah.
You're the one who's like, hey guys, I'm kind of thinking about playing Fortnite. And we're like, alright, sure.
No. Oh no, you're lying.
I am not.
Yeah. You may have been drinking at the
I
time,
wasn't
Trinky,
there.
but...
I wasn't there. I do believe him. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't. I don't like Fortnite.
You're the one who was like, I'm kind of thinking about playing Fortnite. And I thought you hated this, but alright, sure.
How many years ago did I suggest this?
I had the game installed and everything on my computer ready to go. And I was just waiting for you to be like, alright guys, let's play some Fortnite.
I mean, supposedly no build mode is genuinely really fun.
Yeah, no build mode is really good.
Was I actually drunk when I proposed this?
No.
Probably.
Well, actually, I don't know if you were or not, but I don't think you were.
You say probably like I drink a lot. What's wrong with you? Do you know who I drink with the most? Fox.
I don't even drink that much.
I remember Drunky.
I remember Drinky.
Yeah, okay, look. Yeah, but when I used to do shots for bits when that was allowed, it was great times. My bank was loving it. Me going to work hungover in a pub the next day, not so much.
I've got that advantage for me. I've never had a hangover.
Drinky is usually drinking.
I never had a hangover
that.
until that one stream.
I've never
When
had a
drank, like,
hangover
whole
from
bottle.
alcohol.
I drank a whole bottle of vodka, like vodka liqueur in that one stream.
I have only ever had 2 hangovers.
Sure runs, he says Wiz.
That one stream, oh my god, that one stream, I think I got onto shot something like 16 or 17.
Oh man.
And I had to like keep upping the price of the shots because like, I was like, if I set the amount of bits so high, no one will buy them and I can stop drinking, but it didn't work.
Oh no!
No, it
Kept
doesn't.
buying them.
Yep.
And like, honestly, I'd set it to something like 1,500 bits per shot, and people were still buying them. And I was like, I literally can't see straight.
Hey, Steve,
Hell,
could you do me a favor?
15 pound a shot.
They were
You're
trying to give
drinking
you
as if you're in
alcohol
London.
poisoning, dude.
I'm gonna.
You know, like literally, it was like ridiculous. Like I'd up the price. Like I started at like £5, and then I was like, oh, loads of people bought them, and I was like, great, okay, I'll up it to like £7.50, and then people kept buying them, and I was like, oh my god, right, I'll up it to £10. People kept buying it, and then I was like, oh no, because I really need to stop drinking. And then I upped it to literally like £15, and people were still buying it. I was like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you
They were trying to
were
give you alcohol
London
poisoning.
Yeah, I think my chat were actually trying to kill me.
Right.
Good thing that Twitch banned that
I'm
behavior.
so glad I've never had a Twitch audience try to fucking drown me. I'm so glad I've never.
Oh, I did. I've had that.
If I
Why
can
do you
drown
think
with
my
water
hyd-
and alcohol. Oof.
I think that's why our hydrates are on timers now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't totally just have my friends all at once descend upon me.
I was part
and
of
make
that.
me
I contributed to that.
redeem like 30 to 60 hydrates.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
had to do all of them. What are you gonna do? Not do them?
I think it's a
fuckers.
Ricky streamer error, isn't it? We've all done it.
Yeah. I have my mods were doing that to me. Thanks,
I don't know
Tatsy,
how to.
and
I don't know how to set them up. I'll be honest. I have no idea how to set that shit
You
up.
don't have channel points, so
Yeah, I have to make a affiliate.
you have to become affiliate first. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't
We're
gotten
trying,
that
we're
yet.
trying to get you there.
I'm trying. I think I'm just not hitting the average views. I think that's the last fucking thing I need to get.
Yeah,
The
it's
honest
likely
answer
average.
is you just need to do it more.
Yeah, because I only really stream like once a week.
You stream like once a month.
Yeah. That's more accurate.
I
Yeah.
I think for affiliate it's what,
Um,
like 7 times in a
7
month
times in
period?
a month, and then you
Something like
also
that,
need
yeah.
to have the minimum of at least 3. At least I think so. I think they may have changed some of it. I'm not 100% certain.
it's still no. It's a minimum. It's 3 average.
Three
That's
average.
the minimum.
I believe you. You totally never said
Yo,
that.
it's Snoop.
You got it, Snoop.
We'll get to there.
Yeah, I'll get it. I just have to keep doing it. But my problem is sometimes I get sad and I'm like, I don't want to stream.
Yeah, I get it.
That just happens.
Oh, that. I mean, I'm British. That's a default setting.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's to that. And
I've woken up
as
today
we
a grumpy bastard. Oh.
yeah.
It's
As
just
the
the
old
British
adage
in
goes, the show must go on.
Oh yes, speaking of grumpy things and Catros, we should probably address the less grumpy part of things. Before I get into the thing that I'm sure you'll be happy to talk about, we gotta see Catros' soft side.
Yeah.
Well,
We gotta see Catros cared about everybody.
Yeah.
And when they gave
Yeah.
everyone the ring, and it glows on a certain day, and we know where each
well,
other
it was
are.
whatever jewelry piece people decided they wanted. And so I never actually got the answer of what people wanted. So what
It
what
would have
would
been
the
another ring.
person's character, what you would have chosen a ring?
Yep.
I think everyone would have gone rings.
See, I think Catros would have gone for a necklace.
Here we go.
Putting a thing in here. We're linking to the
Only
artist.
because she uses her
Yeah,
hands
I was
so
trying to
much,
find
I
the
think she would have gone for a ring. I think she would have gone for a necklace.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
You were fighting over where to put it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it above the art that they made.
I put it underneath.
But
the
then
accent.
there's the whole, obviously, she did it, but no one knows it's her.
No one knows it's her. The nicest thing that they ever did, they did in secret.
Nope. No one knows it was Catros that did that.
Well,
If
one
anything,
person
I would
knows.
probably one person knows. If anything, people would probably assume that the Frife did that.
She had a
I
hand.
believe she had a hand in it.
Thank you, Carl's Jr., for sending me a message that called me the flavor saver.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're telling me that there's a deal going on right now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Burger.
Burger. I had burger today.
We had burger last night. It was okay, but we were missing things, and more importantly, we got a really bad drink. But that I'm not mad at them for. That was
Yeah. Yeah, we tried an
I had a good
an experimental drink and it tasted bad.
It tasted like rubber.
It tasted like
What was it meant to be?
It was a mint twisted soda, is what it was called.
Ew, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, well, cause like we both figured that this was just gonna be like a mint flavored thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure what it is it was like mint syrup, and then they mixed it with a soda, and then put whipped cream on top of it or something. Yeah, it wasn't good. I feel like whatever soda they were using it for might have ran out of syrup or something, because like, aside from the mint syrup that was at the fucking bottom, there was like no flavor.
They were not from Flavortown.
They were not from Flavortown. However, the burger was good. I did enjoy the burger. We've been enjoying burgers a lot more lately.
The other funny thing to talk about is we have to talk about the pet rocks.
Yeah. Oh my god, I
That
love
was
it.
such a good twist.
It was so cute. It was so catchers too.
It was genuinely like, how can I implement Rocky without it being weird? And I was just like, if everyone has it, then no one's gonna think it's weird. So that's how we got fucking
the rock species.
A rock
The pet rock.
subculture's pets.
Yep. And you can just find them when you go mining, and you're like, well, gotta send them to the pet rock farm.
Oh no, we found another one. We found a new baby. It'd be like finding a fucking stray cat while you're at work.
Yeah.
Rockeridge Farms.
Rockridge Farms. I love that.
Oh man. I was grasping, I'm not gonna lie, when I had one move over to your brother, I was just like, what's a rock name? Obsidian, yeah!
I feel like that's the equivalent of like just calling your dog dog.
Spot.
No, that's what Rocky would be equivalent to.
Do you think Rocky is the most common name for rocks?
Probably.
Probably.
Do you think you call out for Rocky and like 5 rocks show up?
That'd be funny.
Would the real Rocky please stand up?
I'm just imagining Kadros now doing the fucking Chris Pratt thing with the raptors, but they're rocks.
With rocks.
There's a cat that lives at a bridge near me and I call it Bridge Cat. Yeah, exactly. It'd be that kind of thing. The bridge boulder or something. I'm imagining that, like, there are dwarves who's just like, alright, I guess you can sleep in the bed tonight, buddy, and then the boulder just slides in and crushes the bed. Ah, man, my back's sore last night. I had fucking pebble just on top of my chest all night.
You really needed to cuddle last night. I don't know why.
I don't know why he's so cuddly. Oh god.
It's like with fucking bigger dog breeds, and they just insist on being lapdog.
Yep.
Like, you are not a lapdog. What are you playing at?
No, the rocks were such a good little twist at the end.
I love it. It's so cute.
What? Okay, what kind of? Let's ask the question then. If all of us right now had to have a rock, what kind of rock would you want?
I would want to get one that has like visible layers, so it's got like stripes.
Okay.
A geode.
Yep.
What about you, Crunsy? He died.
No, I'm alive.
Bronzy became the rock.
Just wasn't expecting to be asked what kind of rocks you wanted tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. Not the ones that I'm getting.
No?
Pet rock advice. Pet rocks are very important members of your family, and you should never take them for granted.
Anyway.
Jesus, my ears.
That one sucked.
Probably obsidian. Piece of obsidian.
Very sharp.
It tore the soul out of This is amazing. Yeah.
Honestly, I've never heard Snoo make that noise and my ears are ringing.
Sorry. I didn't think it was going to
It's
be
a
that loud.
defensive maneuver that Snoop has. How they avoid predators.
Yeah. The other way I do that is I just start crying.
You just start crying.
I start crying when they won't eat me. I'll be too pathetic.
Oh, I guess we could talk about that. The ending bits for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about your, I guess, epilogue slide?
I was very happy with mine, and I thought it was very cute and sweet. And I know, like, out of stream stuff, you had mentioned of like, I'm sorry, I had to basically like cut yours short before we got any further with it, and I was just like, no, it's fine. I didn't want to take forever from everyone else. That wouldn't be fair. But Melly got to have her family.
Melody got their family.
And the island was better.
The island was better.
Thalaspity was more of an actual, like, you know, town rather than an isolated island.
Yeah.
Noticing that we never really, wouldn't have really had a chance to come up, but I'm kind of interested, obviously, with the revelations that we had in those last parts as to like what the religion looks like on Thalaspity at this point now.
I imagine it's still relatively the same, like in terms of its stories and its structure and whatnot, but I imagine that its history may have been slightly altered. They were no longer aggressive to outsiders.
Isolationist.
Yeah.
I imagine that
Yeah.
near Thalaspity's main church is probably a church for another god, and I would definitely think it would be funny if it was Alaki, so that Melody looks at it and goes, "Wait."
That's
Hang
really
on,
funny.
they're the same. What?
Alaki, how come you have two houses now?
Yeah, it's just a
How
somehow.
come you guys are still dead naming me on your island?
Is that the clip?
What?
Has Mox not seen the dead name clip yet, Snoo?
I don't remember.
The moment that
haven't?
you disappeared for that, then you came back and we were all pissing ourselves.
I don't remember. Do you have a link? to that clip?
I don't know if we even.
I don't
clipped it
think you
yet.
guys made a clip.
Timestamped it. I know you timestamped it, Snoo, but I don't know if we've actually clipped it yet.
I don't think we clipped it.
I imagine as well as the churches that Farum has essentially helped establish without realizing it, are probably also very modest things, just like quick little areas for shelter and prayer and worship. You know, nothing too elaborate, but cozy.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like there are fixed presences, but the church is the boat, as it were.
Yeah.
Church boat.
Which is honestly a very
Church
fascinating concept.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like being the captain of the boat and being the head priest for Alaki, it would make more sense that I would take the church with me.
Yeah.
I thought Gecko's was really sweet and very, like, down to earth. Like, compared to the drastic changes the rest of you had, Gecko didn't really change that much, and Gecko's world didn't change that much.
Yeah.
I was very close to having it so Catrush didn't change anything, but that she was going to make it so that the banker never existed.
So funny you should mention that. The banker did get addressed by the Frey.
Yeah. We were talking about it when we were walking to the restaurant we were going to eat that day.
Yeah, we were eating
Where-
the restaurant.
Yeah, we were eating the restaurant. And I was talking with Mox about like some of the small changes that the Fry herself had made that we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
One of which was the banker.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, the banker was put into a position where they were content in life. No necessarily grand ambitions or illusions of grandeur that would push them into the direction of pursuing the island, so that they would be happy, be humble, and never a threat, but also not denied the opportunity to exist. That being said, the danger's not gone. The banker may be dealt with, but the island persists, and someone could go through the same thing you guys went and undo everything you did, if they so chose, if they got to that point. Big ifs, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, still leaving the Blue Flame story as an option for other people to do stuff with.
Yep. In the event that someone wants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A circular story, essentially.
Yeah. Partially related, partially unrelated. But I've mentioned this to everyone but Trinky at this point. So, after like the halfway point of Blue Flame, I had been thinking of possibly running my own tabletop RPG game for the group. I don't know when it'll happen. I have hashed out some ideas with Mox of using the Mutants and Masterminds system, mostly to help me get more used to running that system. And I'll probably like ask our other friends who would be available on Thursdays if they would want to join. Currently, I have no actual plans. I'm mostly doing like interest checks about the idea every now and again.
Mutants and Masterminds, yay. Eminem.
M&M's.
So, you know, I'm just putting that on the table right now, and I know Karanzi has shit going on in real life that would get in the way, so heavy rain check on him. But I'm also just doing that for Trinky, because you're the only person I haven't mentioned this to yet.
I'd be sit down. You just have to accept that my many questions of how things work.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. So the thing about the Mutants and Mastermind system, it is meant for superheroes. So you can make literally whatever you want. And it's a far different thing from D&D, where it's like, okay, so here's the stuff you can pick, here's the things you can do with the race and class that you've chosen and the feats you go with. M&M is literally like, do you want it? Make it.
Building a character is more like programming a character.
Yeah, there's a program we have that does all the math, because the math for making your superpowers is kind of scary to me, but the program we have is pretty solid for it. As well as our table has basically like gone into agreement of you don't get rules lawyered about how you wanted your character's powers to work. It's a rules as intended sort of thing for how powers work for us.
To a point. There is one exception I can think of.
Okay, but that was that guy, and he's a dickhead, so...
Yeah, he's a dickhead. I'm gonna make a power that sets people on fire that is impossible to put out. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I fumbled and hit my friend! I need to get rid of it! How?
How? It's permanent.
It's permanent fire.
You made it permanent.
I didn't think it was gonna work like that! Where else?
I didn't think the permanent fire was gonna be permanent.
thought.
Thankfully, we were able to bullshit how we could put it out, which was my power. My character had healing powers, and we just said that negates it. But
Not really.
Funny like that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited for something in the future.
Hear Karanzi listening to clips through his mic.
Any other things we want to bring up? Anything else we want to talk about?
I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure there is more. Oh,
Just impressed that that Melody never actually swung a scythe at Catros.
because by the time Melody got the Vorpal Scythe, she has already like dealt with some character growth. If Melody had that Vorpal Scythe at the start, she would have swung it at Catris without hesitation.
I think if Melody
By
had
the time
the
she
Vorpal
had-
Scythe at the start, Melody would have decapitated themselves.
She would have decapitated herself, yeah. But by the time Melody had gotten the Vorpal Scythe, she's already past a point where she's trying to be better than Catris. She's trying to not stoop to her level.
Yeah,
because
Catris
she
does not care.
Yeah.
Her character growth is very limited in regards to of Melody.
Yeah.
Dude, we're missing a
Well, because
Rocky
the
image.
Catris. What?
We're missing a Rocky image.
Which one?
The fedora?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you have those.
I don't.
You don't?
No, we're also missing Kiryu Rocky.
Okay, well, it is-
Icon.
Was it not put in the Blue Flame channel? Hang on.
Oh, lol. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? Blue Flame chat, where is it?
Oh, okay. I found Kiryu Rocky.
Oh, do I only have my... That's okay. So Snow, I sent you the photo of me crying during our final campaign.
Yeah, that was in the channel.
Yeah, I've made it into an emote for my streams.
What's it called? Is it just crying?
Cry?
Crying? That's so fucking funny.
I asked Chalk and he delivered.
Yep.
Oh man. He died after that.
He died.
He did
Man,
die.
I can't believe Chuck died after making that edit of Rocky.
How do you kill a rock?
You
I will
live
never
too
forget
much.
that quote from your mom. How do you kill a rock?
How do you kill a rock? I came in and I was so upset. She was just like, oh, how do you kill that rock?
I love that your mom was still like sympathetic to you about it, but it's just she's so clearly confused.
Yeah.
How did they react when you told them that he came back?
I haven't told him yet.
I don't imagine there's a whole lot about your D&D games talked about with your parents.
No, I do talk about some stuff. I forget sometimes though.
Like,
yeah.
Talk about your parents. I saw that you done a new short edit about. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's an
Of Papa
iconic
Prince.
clip.
Which one?
Deserved a true edit. Well, my dad fists my pumpkin.
Oh.
Yeah. I gave it a proper edit. Not just the base clip. Yeah, that one will always live on.
Good one.
Here's a good one. Clips like that I'm like, oh, I don't see me as being a streamer and a teacher as a problem, but if my work found that, lol.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, it's inappropriate on the internet. Like, it's like my literal father. Like,
You're gonna tell me I'm not allowed to be with my actual dad? What's wrong with you?
you're gonna tell me I can't post funny things that my actual father have said? Huh? Huh?
Huh? Hmm?
Huh? Yeah, didn't think so.
Completely off topic.
Yeah.
So yesterday a new game was announced from a company that I thoroughly enjoy the games that they've made.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Monster Train 2.
Monster Train. Never heard of this.
I believe I've seen you play that before.
Yes, I have. And we have played their other game. They're the creators of Inkbound.
Oh.
So yeah, their new game has been... They've released the demo for and announced their new game.
Similar to Balatro and Master Duel.
Yeah. Anyway. Just thought I'd hijack things.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Speaking of hijacking
Is there anything
things,
you want to... Is there anything that we completely derailed from how you thought it was going to go, Mox? Or did we kind of do everything roughly how you thought it would?
you never took control from me. I always
did
knew.
assume.
I always knew where you were going to go, and I always knew that you were going to get to from point A to point B. How you got there was always up to you guys, but you always had it in you to get there. Mox is always in control. Yeah. There were things that did happen because of curse events and such like that that certainly made me have to flip the script, but it was never massively disruptive. You would have had me go, I need a long moment, guys. You know, it was usually give me a second, and then I would move forward. The thing that I wish was a little different was I wish the hostility between Katros and Melody in particular didn't quite get to the point that you guys were threatening each other with weapons.
Yeah. I'll be honest, me as a player, me as a player and me as a DM actually, I prefer when D&D parties treat themselves like family. And then with fucking Katris and Melody, it was just like, these motherfuckers are like in a cold war.
I genuinely do not know. I do not know what happened on the first thing to make me hate everybody and why I made that choice. But oh my god, what was I thinking?
I don't know either.
I don't even know where it came from. Like, it was not my intention at all. Like, I had no intention to go into this and be like, oh, I'm gonna hate them, I don't want to get along with them. But it just happened, and I was like, oh no. And then, like, obviously, at the end of the first part, we managed to, like, there was some sort of bridge between Katros and Farron because she has a deal, or she made a deal with him.
But there was nothing for Melody and
There was nothing for Melody, and there was never going to be, I think, was the key thing as well. Like, there was never going to be some sort of common ground for them to build on.
So, I think potentially part of the initial thing of it was we were on a boat.
Yeah.
Your character had seasickness, so your character was already irritable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just never progressed from there. Possibly because just of the animosity between dwarves and elves as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think also potentially, like, for her as well, because you two got along so well, she was just a bit pissed off as well. Like, she was like, great, these two are getting along, and I'm like the third one here. I think also definitely played into it. But I don't know why. Yeah, I literally don't know
she was
really.
just being a tsundere about it. Okay, got it.
I don't actually know where it came from at all, though. Like, it was not my intention.
Honestly, sometimes that just happens with characters, because it's
Yeah.
usually the very first session is you figuring out anything about the character at all, and it's typically by session 3 is when you've actually figured out the character's personality,
I
which
have a
for
rule of thumb
Catcher
that
was
it
being a bitch.
takes 3 sessions for you to really get it.
Yeah. But then obviously you got to remember our first one was only, what, 4 sessions? So by the time we kind of worked out, it was kind of the end for that bit anyway.
At the very least, this is something that I had from when I was playing, creating characters. It was a little more difficult for us because we obviously, in our first session, it was only the 3 of us in the party.
Yeah.
But I had typically played in parties of at least 4 people. And how the DMs would usually run things was, you don't have to get on with all of the people in the party, that's fine, but usually every character would have at least 1, if not 2 links between them and the other members of the party, So like, 2 of you could have grown up together, or been in the same barracks or something like that, or in the same town, or something like that. You weren't unknown to them.
Yeah,
I
you
wonder
knew each other
if
before
Gecko
the
had been there
freaking
from the
story
start,
starts.
if she wouldn't have been as bad.
Probably, because I feel like Gecko was always supposed to be like a golden retriever type of character, so I feel like
And she
his
does like
presence
Gecko, to be fair.
Yeah, and I feel like Gecko's presence probably would have tempered a lot of Catriss's callousness away from everything a little bit more. Because I know for Melody, I had built her to be yeah, for Melody, I had built her to sort of be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like disillusioned to how the world actually worked. That was always my idea with her, is she was a religiously traumatized victim, essentially.
Yeah.
And she was essentially like a cultist from not what was really a cult, but an actual religion. That was sort of the idea for her. She was meant to be
Did you always know Did you always know, Snoo, that your god wasn't the actual god from like the start, or when did you find that out?
No. I didn't find that out technically until we were in that like starry dream realm. Because the entire time I specifically had listed it in Melody's backstory of something she assumes the voice talking to her from the shell is the lasso. And I left it in Mox's hands of if it actually is Thalasso and Thalasso is just a cruel god, or if it's something pretending to be Thalasso and is exploiting Melody.
Mm-hmm. And once I decided that Thalasso and Alaki were the same thing, that answer formed itself.
Yep. Because that's, as a player, that's something that's really fun to do, is leave mysteries that even you yourself don't know to let the DM explore during the story.
Yeah, I did have that with my character's backstory in the hometown and how it got destroyed. Like, me and Mox had like a rough agreement on kind of what, but like nothing specific.
Yeah. The most extreme way to also do that as well is to just make your character have amnesia and just say, DM can make my entire backstory.
Oh, holy fuck. Okay, now I just remembered something that was actually very frustrating. Now that we've brought it up, it was you guys fighting the level 1 drow soldiers, and You guys couldn't fucking kill them.
Because of the tentacles.
Oh my god, even outside of that, you guys just for some reason weren't doing enough damage, and I thought that was weird. It's like, I know you guys hit like trucks. These guys have 13 health. The fuck?
We don't hit like trucks, actually.
You do, actually. You do on a regular basis demolish things.
We can do, yeah, but our basic hits, other than Gecko, don't do the damage. It's all... Oh, no, I'll take that back, because Catros definitely hits like a truck.
Yeah, that's just rogues, though.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
But outside of me and Melody, we would need to... I mean, obviously you were giving us the rests to recuperate that, but...
Yeah, but I was very stingy with my Warlock spell slots, I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest, I was being stingy as well, fully well knowing, like, hey, we're coming to the end, and I really shouldn't have. I should have just gone.
I even told you guys don't hold anything back.
I'll be honest, the only thing I technically held back on was because I fucking kept forgetting about Paladin Smite.
Which is the most
and in my
ridiculous
fucking
thing.
stupid little brain, I was looking at my spell slots being like, I have to think very carefully about how I'm doing this. My spell slots are limited. And then I had to remember, I'm not a fucking Warlock anymore.
You know how sad it was that I finally duplicated myself and then I only got to use it for 2 turns because then they disappeared because I got sucked into the crystal?
Yeah.
RNG, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doppelganger was supposed to be very dangerous and deadly and always going to be a problem solver. Expected to see that a lot more.
How did you feel the fight went with our clones?
It went about as much as I thought it was going to. I really did have a fucking internal hee-hoo when, you know, the two geckos go at each other, and people are mostly copying each other, but it's not so much that they're copying, it's that they're playing like you. They're fighting like you do.
And because of how this started, which was the two geckos just fucking mirror punching each other, it made us go, oh, they're gonna mirror us. And that was us just completely...
And then the fucking Catros...
It wasn't until the other Catros moved differently that I went, oh.
Oh, wait. And he did something you do.
They just do what we do, they don't actually mirror us.
Mm-hmm. They fight like how you fight, that's the point.
I didn't even use any of my luck. My lucky points.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't really have many opportunities to use them, I think.
I mean, you could use them whenever. That's the thing about them. You just, I think you just spend a lucky point and you can just reroll a die.
Maybe I should have done that during hide and seek.
You really should have!
Honestly though, with how bad every roll was, don't think it would have made a difference.
Dude, I thought about cranking up the difficulty of that final fight by the session before the final fight, being like, alright guys, you leveled up 3 times.
Yeah. Went crazy.
But I decided, no, that would be too complicated. Leveling up once is an ordeal as it is. Leveling up 3 times I think would melt Trinky's brain.
I think, just going back to like favorite things that happened during the campaign, I honestly thoroughly enjoyed the casting darkness on the boat that Trinky
Oh,
did.
Yeah, that was good shit.
Yeah, that was one of my better moments.
When it went with him, it was just like, wow, that actually thoroughly cripples that ship.
Yeah, I was actually so proud of myself for that as well. It was like the first somewhat witty play I'd done. Because otherwise my combat had been relatively straightforward, like, as in, like, I didn't have to think too much. Yeah, pretty much. So it was like the first thing I actually was like, oh, I could do this. I wonder how that will work.
Speaking of that fight, on the flip side, I will fully admit I was really, really underwhelmed by the lack of care and attentiveness your captain, aka Ferrum, had to their own boat before the fucking boat fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
sorry.
Fight is not one of our highlights. We did not do well with that.
Ronzi, it was Mass Effect 2, but you got to the end without upgrading the ship.
Yeah.
Did you have to tweak that fight so we stood a chance, or was it how it was?
I gave you guys a Deus Ex Machina in the form of the secret effects within your legendary items. So when the Kraken showed up, that was my tweaking. That was my, I'm going to give you guys a hand here.
That's fair.
I mean, I
Drop the
assumed you
ball
might
on
have
that
had
one.
to because we were very ill prepared.
You were so ill prepared, you should have died that entire thing. If I was doing this as rules as written, which is a very common thing that I just do not care for, you guys should have been bombarded with your one action, and then by the time the boats caught up with you, sunk. Game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I hate that shit.
Yeah. That's not an interesting story to you. That's just you punching down at us.
That's me punching down at you guys, and I don't play D&D to be like, oh yeah, RTS, tactical genius, here come the strategies, the flanking, the very things. I put enemies that have intelligence fighting intelligently. I have enemies that I can coordinating, and then I have the dumb as fuck enemies who are just like, I'm gonna bite you! And that's the extent of that. I still showed how deadly and dangerous everything is, and you guys had your moments of brilliance. Katros' darkness, and goddamn Gecko's bag of holding trick.
That was fucking ingenious. Fucking, oh my god. Chalk has such the fucking most fascinating harebrained schemes in fights. It's so great.
Craziness. But all of this stems from a point that it should have never been this difficult, because you had every opportunity to prepare for it and you didn't.
Yeah.
I made my point. I made my emphasis that, hey, you should work on the boat. You should probably do something with the boat. You should probably fix the boat.
Yeah, Chalk and I, like, outside of session, were discussing that of just, like, both of our characters are too fucking stupid to say anything, so we might just have to tell Karanzi in, like, player to player.
Yeah, no, I fully realized the mistake made as soon as it happened. Like, oh, shit, we never done that. That's on me. It was discussed as well. And we just never pulled the trigger because it was talked about. We just never got them. I will hold my hands up that it's on me.
That was one of those moments. I could have full on killed you all and I would have been justified.
Yeah. But you didn't.
But I didn't. One of the other.
I was gonna say I'm of the same opinion of you as that rules as written stuff is a load of
hoopla.
You play it just to have fun.
Play the game to have fun. I fucking hate the mentality of animosity between players and a DM, where it's like the players think they have to win D&D by subverting the DM and, like, just beat the DM basically at the planning and the game and the fight and whatnot. And it's just like, that's fucking stupid. That's your friend back there. They're trying to make a story for you to enjoy. It's why sometimes I'll have my characters make a stupid decision for the sake of narrative interest and not purely because of things benefiting us. Like at the start of the campaign, when Melody would just wander off. Because it's just, well, Melody's not engaged in this conversation right now. I don't think she would just stand around bored. I think she would try to explore around a little bit, even if that's going to get her into trouble.
She wandered off quite a few times in those first few sessions. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm just doing my thing, but I'm also sitting there thinking like, where's Melody going? What's going on? It's like,
yeah.
One of my favorite things that came about all of this was the front.
Yeah.
She was such a fun character that was born from RNG, honestly. Like I liked the way I got to play her. I liked having this character who had a confidence and kind of an air of superiority about them, but kept it in check.
Yeah, it was tempered.
It was tempered. Because, you know, there were the moments where it cracked, where she wasn't in control, where she wasn't ahead of everything, despite everything. And she was very shaken up by it. And even knowing things, the part where you guys had to basically go in and slaughter the younglings was uncomfortable for her.
Oh, I bet. That was basically her younger siblings that we just killed.
Exactly, that they were complacent in. And they didn't do it out of malice. They did that particular bit out of mercy, as revealed later when, well, without the wax, they were all doomed.
Yeah.
But they couldn't keep it because it had to go. Which, again, makes her such an interesting character to me. Everything she was doing for what would be considered the greater good, even going so far as to acknowledge that it's going to lead to her death.
Yeah. Which I remember you telling me that out of session, and I legit almost just started crying immediately.
She had what she had, and she was doing her best.
Well, because she wasn't going to tell Melody about it. So, like, I as a player would not have been able to do anything about it. Until it was too late.
The truth of the matter is that every long rest after you guys were out of the manor and on the boat was a day she had to restore that wax. So when she bought the vials of wax she could, every time you guys had a accelerated long rest, just ticked her timer down even further.
Yep. It was essentially the equivalent of she had a terminal disease and limited time with it.
My favorite bit from all of that, though, was when she made the sacrifice, which was not the intended plan. It was genuinely, let's see how this plays out. Let's see what anyone's thinking of. Is anybody going to be willing to make that choice? And no one stepped up, which I expected fully, but I found that very interesting, that you all went silent. Like, you were all contemplating it, but no one was necessarily willing to step forth and offer anything else.
I definitely was not thinking about it. I was trying to think of how we could stop the frogs that were up there. That's what I was focusing on. Because I figured, well, like, if we kill all of them, then we don't really have to worry about them merging with that god. That doesn't solve the problem, though. The god is still there.
So when she offered to do it, and she gave her goodbye, and she gave her goodbye kiss, and everything was really dramatic, my favorite bit that came of it is immediately afterwards. Her lack of presence was noticed.
Oh, yeah.
There was just this void that was created by her not being. And I remember thinking to myself after that session, damn, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had essentially been a presence for
a good while.
a part and a half.
Yeah. And the thing is like her not only as like another person in the action economy on our side of things, but also like the spells she did, because it was another person that could do healing stuff for us. It was another person that was able to, be support essentially, while also still being able to help us keep up with the number of enemies that we were dealing with. And then that's just gone.
Yeah.
The first real death of the campaign. You got better.
Yeah, the death that stuck for a little bit.
He's not the same.
Because by all accounts, her body is dead.
But she persists. And as I've told Snoo, I'm probably going to use her in something else. Of all the characters I've made, she is the only divine character I think I've ever made that I actually gave a shit about.
Yeah, because normally Mox doesn't care about god characters.
I hate gods. I hate god characters. I'm not a fan of deities in general.
But Aureldra's
Hey,
different.
you sound like Katros.
Oh,
you have no idea how hard I was biting my tongue when we were stood with all the gods. Like, Katros was like, you just can't say nothing, you can't say nothing, you can't say nothing.
See, what's so funny is the idea of a D&D character, and Mox has said this before many times, but the idea of a D&D character saying gods aren't real in a world where the gods are proven to exist and be real.
Where the gods have walked the plains, yeah.
For her, like, her upbringing and her backstory, like, she genuinely has no inclination. The girl lived in a fucking barrel for most of her life. She did, like, she wasn't, like, learning things.
The thing is, I can fully accept the idea of a character saying, I reject the gods, or I will never pray to the gods, they mean nothing to me. That's a completely different sentiment than the gods are not real.
She did, but for her, like, she genuinely, like, she would have heard everyone around her speaking about them, but because she's genuinely so uneducated because of how she's lived, like, to her it is just a story.
Yeah.
Like, everything she hears is typically just a story. That's why she just dismisses basically everything she comes into contact with, because she's like, it's not real.
Not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, while Farum, before essentially finding divinity, was exactly as you said, Snoo. Just like,
yeah.
I reject them, I'm not going to pray to them. That's how he was.
Yeah.
Growing up.
I find it so funny that these characters are basically on a spectrum together in that regard, because Melody was in the deep end already, raised in the idea of like, other gods exist, they don't matter, we only have the one god, and then the saints, which are not God, but you can still pray to them for guidance and whatnot. And she is like already completely fully bought into this idea.
Yeah, they pretty much are the complete spectrum, aren't they? Of like no belief to
of Gnosticism.
Yeah, to total belief.
Moving some stuff around.
Put in Melody and Ephraim with everybody.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, Katros just literally would never. There was no world in which she would have heard the things about the gods and believed that they were real. She would have purely heard, like, grown up hearing them, thinking it was stories.
Yeah. And that makes sense for Katros's backstory. And then when she actually is met face to face with a god, and it's like, oh, I guess I can't say you're not real, but I still don't have to like you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I still cannot put images in here because I realize, I probably put an image of Alaki. Can't put an image.
Why not?
I can't upload
Is it
images.
not letting you do the thing again?
Not letting me.
Oh, it's selecting image. Alt tab. See if you have a file window open somewhere. Exit and come back.
I'm not allowed to upload picture. I don't know, Alec.
You didn't leave the whiteboard and come back, or?
I have left the board. It did not fix.
Okay, well, send me the Alec picture then.
It's in Bluefin. But if I need to, I...
Yeah, I think the whole god thing was always very interesting. I also feel like it was such a... Again, she had to bite her tongue so hard. But when Melody realised that her god wasn't her god, and then Catch was just gonna sit there. She was just like, told you. Like, it would have been such an I told you so moment that she had to bite her tongue for. I'm sorry, all of our characters are autistic. As anything, are you joking?
In one way or another.
I should bring up, there is a side of Wikipedia that never got mentioned in that regard, funny enough. So, she wears clerical vestments of her own kind. I describe her as looking like a priestess. She was lived in a church. She absolutely has a faith that she worships. It's just she's the only person of her faith, and she's fine with that. She actually has a fascination with deities, so actually seeing Aleki was a crazy moment for her. She was very excited because she wants to learn more about other religions. Because she's kind of making her own.
He's just like, yo bro, you got any tips?
Yeah, actually. Why is this the way it is? Why are there people? What's the stories with this? Up until, like, I don't know, half a year ago, she didn't even know she was a satyr.
Yeah. Which is very funny.
Poor girl's going through it.
She did.
Going through it like all the time.
Constantly.
And it doesn't help that there's a certain stinker who is personally attacking her at this point, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, the actual, like, main villain of all of this is now choosing to fight her because he's picked a side.
Yep. And that fucker just goes, well, fuck you then. He's a big bitch.
Very quick question.
Yes.
On Kedia's second image, I'm assuming then her horns have kind of formed that gas mask.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to share?
I can upload him. Hang on. I'm so silly. I uploaded a picture of his brother.
Where?
The one that says me for real and I'm pointing at it. It's right below Kedia.
Oh.
That's a picture of Meta.
Oh, I didn't even realize. I thought that was you.
Me for real. No, that's Meta. That's Tomb's brother.
Yeah, so the reason why she looks like that is she hasn't, with her change of heart and her actual determination to be a better person, she's gotten a new power set in her bonds, like social links from Persona. When she actually forms a real bond with somebody, actual, real, tangible friendship, she gets to borrow their strength. In this case, she got to borrow the strength of a fairly decently leveled rogue.
Yeah, he's level 12.
And that's what she got to use and operate on. However, I will admit that character sheet I was given was in some disrepair.
Old. It is old. It's a very old fucking character sheet. Because I've been playing him in Everona for like 3 years? Question mark?
Dirty and smudged as fuck. I couldn't read hardly anything on that paper.
Mox, I'm having trouble. I have to pick a singular image.
I think you should pick the one, your quote-unquote sexy drawing of him.
No. That doesn't have the mask.
That's fine. We can compare.
No. I don't want to.
It's fine. He's just.
I'll put it in.
He's just soaking wet from the rain. That's why you should write on your character sheet using a pen / J. You should not write with a pen. You should not write with a pen. Oh no.
What do you mean? What's wrong? No problem.
I've seen somebody actually put their character sheet after it was filled out into a clear sleeve, and then use a magic marker, like a.
That's pretty funny, actually. I like that.
It's really good. It's a really cool thing.
Laminate shit, yeah.
It's really good. I've also seen people do that with fucking Magic the Gathering cards, where they'll sleeve their things and then they use a marker to notate additions and changes to that card, and it's like, that's fucking brilliant. But yeah, Kidia has 2 transformations right now. One of them is the Stinky, which it didn't necessarily get to come up. I tried to portray it as best I could. She gets the personality of who she transforms into as well. She also can transform into a dragon, which is what you saw bursting out.
Yeah, I didn't finish the token in time though, so we didn't actually play it.
You didn't have to get
I'm working on that though.
Are you?
Okay, so here is the first picture of Tomb.
The arm blades.
Yeah, with the arm blades. And then here's the second picture, which is not the sexy calendar one, but it does show him without the mask. And then here's the sexy calendar one that I didn't want to show you, but here it is anyway. Why is it so small? There you go.
Not even that sexy.
It's not even
another
that sexy.
favorite funny moment.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
From the last battle when we all got confused which Snoo was which.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was the point of the fight! I wanted to put that on
That
you
was
guys.
the point.
And I had cottoned on to which one was which, but it felt like meta knowledge, so I couldn't use it.
Well,
because
you
the
had to have-
tokens were flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew which one was the real one based off which direction they were looking, and I was like, but I can't go off of that because
No, because your character wouldn't know that.
my character wouldn't know that. So I was like,
It's why
well,
it's why Mox asked Chuck of like, how can you tell how can you tell that's the one you want to attack? And it's like, because she pulled out her scythe second.
yeah.
Which, yeah, that would be understandable knowledge for the character to go off of.
Because I had cottoned on, and I was like, oh no, I can't.
I never lost track of which one was which and who was where. One thing that confused me, and I wasn't going to say anything about it because I'm like, well, I'm not there. But the coned gecko never got an X through it, so I always thought that you were just leaving that gecko alive for some reason. And I'm like, huh?
No, I put an X through it. It just didn't show up. Sometimes the X's just weren't appearing. Or they were appearing behind them instead of on top of them, and it was just like, okay. Towards the end, we had pushed Roll20 to its breaking point without paying money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of like those all-you-can-eat buffets and those people who just like stack fucking cucumbers on the sides to put more salad in there.
What?
Yeah, that's a whole thing. It's called like salad stacking. It's a thing in China primarily, and then.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all you can eat buffets get real pissy when people take the piss.
It was a thing in Chinese Pizza Huts where.
I know some places do it now that whatever you leave on your plate, you have to pay for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where is it? There we go. I'm just gonna put it in Frog Zone of like some example pictures of salad stacking.
Frog Zone. We have to change the name of that place.
That's art.
That's art.
That's art.
Yeah. But yeah, this is what people would do, because it would be a limit of like one plate or something, so people would just be like, okay, and then they just do that.
That's crazy. I love it. That's when humans do dumb shit, but I love it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Anything else we want to talk about?
Thank you for running the game.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to my first D&D session.
Thank you for letting me finish my first D&D campaign ever. This is the first one I've ever finished.
You're all welcome. Yeah. Thank you for letting me tell this story and mold it with all of you. What a story it is to be told.
Bad that, like, in my heart, it's not finished.
It's not
No
what it
story
is.
ever is.
That's the
It's
thing
not
about
what
it.
it is.
Here's the thing, Trinky. The story of Blue Flame's over. The story of Catros can go on so long as you keep telling it.
Yeah.
I do not believe that it's over.
Oh?
Yeah.
I think there's a world in which we could go back to it one day.
I mean, theoretically, Snoo even wants to run a thing.
Well, we literally have all the necklaces that could glow and bring us back together at any point should
I thought
someone
they were
decide to do that. Well, mine's a necklace. It was whatever anyone chose, so.
Oh, okay.
I said Catros would have taken a ring because she fights with her hands too much.
Yeah. I mean, before, like, after the first season of Blue Flame, because I'm so mentally unwell about this character, I was already, like, writing a solo story of Melody. So, like, I think I'm probably going to keep what I was writing with that as an AU, mostly because it's like, if I were to do it as a continuation with her epilogue, she's a paladin now. That solo story with Melody is her as a warlock still, and it was a different way of me taking the patron and, like, their relationship as warlock and patron, and making it a little bit more to what I wanted, of Melody catching on a lot faster, of, oh, my patron is actually kind of fucking evil and I need to get out of this deal, sort of idea. But I might also, like, write some little things with the epilogue, mostly of, like, stuff that her and Naru have been up to, and also meeting Ereldra again.
You and your funny love triangle.
Yeah.
In my head, it's like this chapter of the Blue Flame is done, but the whole thing is not.
I see it as the book is finished. Another book can still be written, though.
Yeah, in the exact same. To me, we could bust the exact same characters out in the same world.
Yeah.
Because they still have the knowledge, that's the thing. All of them chose to remember.
Yep, that is the key thing.
If any of them had decided not to, the door would be closed, I think.
Yeah.
But because we all chose to remember, it's not.
Guys haven't played Persona 2, though.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of Persona.
Yeah. Innocent Sin or the other one?
Innocent Sin and then Eternal Punishment is the consequence.
Yeah.
So Persona 2 lays the groundwork of what would Persona 3, and then Persona 3 becomes the actual foundation for the entire series. But in Persona 2, the main character, Tatsuya, goes on this adventure with his friends that ends up kinda leading to the end of reality. And then, to fix everything, him and his friends choose to get rid of the catalyst event that causes everything by forgetting it ever happened, and forgetting everything associated with it, and just becoming normal people again, right? Except for Tatsuya, who can't stand the idea of forgetting his friends, and can't stand the idea of that loneliness, that feeling that comes with knowing that that's just gonna be gone, and who they were and who they formed from it, it's in him. So when everyone chooses to forget, he refuses. and the events of the game play out again in the sequel of the Eternal Punishment because of his decision of not forgetting. Everyone else has no idea what's happening, and the horrors that are happening still happen. But they're in a position that they can't do anything about it now because they willingly gave that up, except for him. And then it takes a new group of characters who happen to end up filling their old roles to go and sort of make amends and fix everything at the end. And technically speaking, they don't. Kind of a sad.
Stories can be sad.
Some of the two's actually. But anywho, it's not too different from what the story thing.
Yeah. I feel like because we chose to remember it, there's always the option to go back if that ever came up. But because, I feel like if no one ever did keep their knowledge, it wouldn't really make sense to go back to it.
There's also an idea I actually have kicking around of doing a sequel adventure. Not that I would be wanting to just go out and do it, to be clear. I'm content with this being done. You'd have to convince me otherwise to do this again. Specifically for Blue Flame. Running another D&D game, sure, whatever. But doing Blue Flame sequel, yeah, it's gonna take some coaxing. But the idea is actually based around that decision from another piece of media. Have you guys ever played the Prince of Persia Sands trilogy?
No, but I'm quite familiar with it.
Well, we discussed it. I've played part.
The first game is the introduction to the Sands of Time and the ability to manipulate time within this hourglass and the consequences of manipulation that comes within it, as the entire game is a story told by the prince to essentially a princess that he's trying to get the assistance of to deal with a evil vizier and stop the events of the first game from even happening. The second game, The Warrior Within, is that because he has undone history as it was meant to play out, and he has altered time, a cosmic being that's like the cleanup crew of reality shows up to hunt his ass down, called the Dahaka. That is this mean motherfucker that you can't fight. You have to run. And time manipulation does not help because he's made of the same shit. So he's going to an island where apparently the Sands of Time were formed and the hourglass was made to go and speak with the people there to find a way to undo everything while being pursued by this unstoppable creature, which is fucking incredible. I love the Dahaka. I love everything about the Dahaka. So that is an option.
All I'm hearing is it's not really over. Ha.
You're saying that. I'm saying I have my ideas. I have my thoughts and theories. I'm gonna share a picture of the Dahaka in, I guess, Frog Zone.
Frog Zone's still danger zone.
If someone just came into our Discord and had no idea about anything, they think we're weird people.
Probably. You know my favorite detail about the Dahaka is actually his horns form an infinity shape.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool detail. He's so awesome. He's so cool looking.
Fucking cool. I own them all. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
What? I love My Little Pony fans. Never change, please.
So why did someone make the...
I mean, I get it, because that's what the prince looks like. Dude, the Warrior Within is such a weird Prince of Persia game, because It's from that time when God of War and stuff like that was the hot thing. So like the developers were kind of forced to make it a lot more gritty and edgier, because that's what they made the Prince in. Meanwhile, like, give me a second. Gotta see what the fucking Prince looked like in the OG one, where like he's got a little bit of things going on to him, sure, but like ultimately he's not an edgy boy. You know?
Making him a Pegasus is a choice. I feel like he's an Earth pony for real.
Like yeah, probably, but like.
Okay, Snoop, calm down.
No, you can see in the OG picture of the Prince here that he's just a guy. He's kind of serious, shit serious. But otherwise, you know, he's a dude. And then the one before it, it's just like edge, dark colors, leather, belts everywhere. Swords in reverse grip.
How I kind of, so that obviously is like, yeah, he's the Prince in the Sands of Time, but then suddenly he's like, oh no, he has seen some shit and he has gone through shit. He is harrowed from his choices, and that is why he has suddenly become Edge Lord.
Oh, Prince, you haven't even had
Belt's
infected
gay.
barbed wire get into your arm yet. I love that bit. I'm just gonna steal that bit from now on to a lot of things, especially when I'm telling my own stories from goddamn Super Eye Patch Wolf of, oh Archie, you haven't even been mauled by a bear yet. Oh Archie, you haven't even gone to war yet. Oh Archie, you haven't had your heart ripped out of your chest by your friends and family when they dance.
Yeah. Riverdale is a series that exists.
Oh my god, do not even get me started on it, please. Oh god.
Oh my god, do you know what Riverdale is?
Do you think I live under a fucking rock?
No one else knows what it is!
Oh,
I know what Riverdale
I'm very
is.
familiar. I watched like 5 seasons of that shit before I was like, I
never
can't do
watched
this
it.
anymore.
I didn't watch the series. I just watched Super Eye Patch Wolf go insane in real time in a video.
Trinky, you gotta keep going. Trinky, you gotta.
Can't, Mox.
Trinky, you don't
Mox.
understand. Trinky.
Mox, it gets so bad.
Trinky,
He's so
they
desperate.
create parallel worlds. There's Rivervale.
Yes, there's Sabrina the Witch, Teenage Witch crossovers as well, isn't there?
Yes,
They get
you're
magic
correct.
powers.
You're correct. They get superpowers. Archie gets the ability to have super strength and invulnerable skin. And they create a time bomb under his bed while he's having sex, so he creates a pocket dimension. You gotta understand, it's incredible. They sell the cell of an ancient wizard to a devil!
Marks, calm down, put the corkboard away.
I can't! The world has to know about what's her face's fucking brother and second brother who works at the CIA that are both serial killers and in love with each other!
Oh no, what's her name? Betty.
Betty, yes! Betty's fucking CIA brother and serial killer brother, and the CIA brother's also a serial killer, and they like have the weirdest like fuck me eyes in jail together through the fucking plastic window from the visitor center.
And the dead twin in season 1 who's not actually
Who's
dead.
not actually dead and is being kept in their basement with his fucking shaved head in the wheelchair.
Oh, please don't make me rewatch it so we can talk about it.
Please!
No, because do you know where I gave up? You know, yeah, like the season when they were in the school and there's like the big wood monster thing that's like chasing them through the school.
Oh, you
I
mean
watched
the
that, and then
Gargoyle
I went
King,
to
I think it
the
is.
Yeah, and then because they're playing D&D.
Yeah, the Gargoyle King!
Yeah, and then like they're in the insane asylum, and I was like, yeah, I'm over this. I can't with this anymore.
Oh, you haven't even seen the rapturing of the cult, with the organ harvesting cult.
No, I think maybe I must have watched further than that then, because that sounds familiar.
Kranzi, I think they've both contracted some form of madness.
I was surprised that Mox leaned into it that way rather than just calling me out for the corkboard, seeing as the shit I do with Final Fantasy.
I have 2 cork boards for this explicit purpose, sir. You have.
I'm more surprised that Mox has watched Riverdale because Riverdale was like teenage, trinky, chick flick TV show.
I watched it
We're
because
insane.
of Eye Patch Wolf.
It is because of Eye Patch Wolf.
I was planning on watching Riverdale. I just never got round to it.
Because it's based off of the
Archie comics.
Archie
Yeah,
comics.
Archie
yeah.
comics.
Yep.
I read the shit out of the Archie comics when I was a kid. And then when I heard about Riverdale and I heard that they made Jughead not an asexual, I went, I'm fucking out. I'm not touching this shit with you.
Bells.
Give me my ace king back. Fuck you. I was so actually mad.
They never do
I'm
address
still
that.
actually mad.
They never do address
I'm
that.
still actually mad. I'm so fucking mad.
That's fair. That's
Give me my
completely
ace
fair.
king back. He was the ace king. Come on.
Hey,
All he
man.
wants is a burger.
It's true. All he usually wants is a burger, but later on he becomes a self-aware, sentient, like 4th dimensional narrator of the fucking show.
He's actually such a fuckboy in the TV show.
He's such a fuckboy, and he's so annoying about it.
He literally
Yeah,
is.
I don't give a shit about them turning him into a fucking into a 4th dimensional meta knowledge and having fucking freak or whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. Make him asexual again, you cowards.
Dude, he legitimately has a conversation with somebody where he's just like, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm weird. I'm not like everyone else. I wear this stupid hat and I've never been without it.
It is genuinely hilarious. I fucking love it.
I think it's an actual meme though.
It's a real thing. It's so fucking bad. Oh, Trinky.
Yeah, yeah.
Trinky.
Yes. Yes.
You should get Karanti to watch it with you. I'm gonna get Snoo to watch it, and then we can talk about it as we hold these 2 people hostage.
We gotta run. We gotta fucking run. We gotta leave.
We gotta leave these countries like right now. We're in danger.
I'm at least okay. Trinky doesn't know where I live.
I gotta
leave.
That's true.
I'm also safe.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm
Oh no. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me.
No, because I think you guys would probably find it quite funny if you can just get through the teenage rom-com first 2 seasons. And then once it becomes unhinged, you're all in.
Oh, totally. I mean, to be honest, I really
I am
don't care.
defending myself with a plastic fucking spoon from Mox. Get away from me.
I
Get away from
don't even care about the whole rom-com things. I don't give a shit about
Oh, it's
that.
not
I'd still
rom-com,
watch
it's
it.
cringy teenage romance is what it is.
Yeah, well, even then, I don't really care. I still probably watch it. I've watched some shit.
On guard.
Oh god, with the plastic spoon.
You could hear that? You could hear the clacking?
You said plastic spoon.
I didn't know you could hear the clacking.
I couldn't hear the clacking.
No, we can't hear the clacking.
I
No.
just heard
We
you
just-
say, "Oh, defending Mox with a plastic spoon," and then heard you go, "On God."
Yeah, he pulled out a straw. Pulled out a plastic straw.
We have lost.
We've
all
lost
of
the
this.
plot.
We never had a plot.
No. This evening has been derailed.
So that's fine. It was
It's okay.
expected.
I didn't know
whole
there was
thing's
someone
been
else
fucking
who
Riverdale.
knew what Riverdale was. You have no idea how excited I am. Stu, I'm gonna hold you.
Do you know how rare it is that I know something that Mox is on about? Do you know how, like, this never happens?
That's why he's so excited.
Yeah, I know.
It's rare for anyone to know what the fuck he's talking about.
It's very true. It's very true.
I think the only person that ever knows
hell.
what Mox is talking about most is usually Karanzi.
Yeah.
That checks out, to be fair.
I don't know how that has come to be, but yeah.
I
We
can't
just
wait until
represent similar things.
I can't wait to show you my madness with Drinky in April. Oh, we're gonna play only cans.
Yeah, sorry, Trinky. That was my fault.
It's entirely Snoo's fault.
I suggested it as a joke, and he's just like, "I'm gonna ask Trinky."
We'll also
I'm like,
point out though, like I'm gonna be in Belgium with school kids on a school trip from like the whole of the weekend that week before, the weekend before that, and so like I'm gonna come back on the Thursday and this is gonna be like the first game I play.
That was the question. Was Trinky gonna play it, or was I gonna play it? I like the idea that Trinky plays it a lot more.
You've played this like 3 times through already, so I think it'd be fine to let someone else play it for you.
Yeah, but I'm good at the game.
Yeah, yeah, it's to wonder how. It's not like you played it like fucking 4 times already.
I have it installed because I was going to show it to my mods. I just never got around to
I
doing
thought you were
it.
gonna say your mum, and I was like,
No.
the questions and things.
Oh my god, could you imagine if I got Mama Mox as well that day?
Oh, you should.
Oh, Mama Mox would have a fucking hoot and a holler about it.
Would they? Would they? Hey, Mama Mox, let's sit down and play the funny can game.
Yeah, I think she would fucking laugh. She would laugh at it the whole way through.
Hold on. I'm gonna go and confirm this.
Okay.
It'll be the last thing I do, and then I'll probably wrap things up because we're getting late.
Yeah.
I'll sit there. I'll sit on it as well, and just actually be there live and just keep my mouth shut and just watch the madness.
Oh boy.
Can you also just appreciate that I've got to go to Belgium with 77 14-year-olds and be on a coach for 10 to 15 hours with them?
I'm so sorry.
Jeez.
I literally work from Monday through to Thursday.
Hello?
Hello, you're on stream.
Oh, hello, streamers.
So, Mother of Mox, you have been cordially invited to a stream in April.
Okay.
Oh, you're so excited about this. You're way more excited about this than I was expecting.
Oh, okay. Why?
So we're gonna be celebrating good old waifu month, and I'm going to be showing Trinky a game on the 3rd or the 10th, depending on scheduling, and you have been formally invited to join us!
Yay! I'm excited. Is it gonna be like a birthday stream?
No! That's really funny you put it like that,
Celebration.
considering the talk about it. You're being invited to a game called Only Cans.
Oh no. Do I want to know? Do I want to know?
You'll find out!
I can't wait.
If you show up.
Oh no. This has gotten out of hand.
Gravy.
Oh, this has gotten out of hand.
Okay, well now I'm gonna be Googling it.
No, don't do that. Don't ruin yourself.
Don't ruin that! It's a surprise!
Oh, it's a surprise. Okay. Dang it.
Tell you what, I'll send you the official theme song later.
Oh God. Sounds good. All right, my child. I must let you go. I am in the middle of something.
That's perfectly fine. This was supposed to be a quick call.
Bye-bye, Mama Mox.
They say, they say
Love you,
goodbye,
bye.
Mama Mox.
Bye.
Fuck.
Oh no.
It was the excitement, and then it's the oh no.
It was. Someone's got to clip that oh no because that was good.
She was so excited at first too.
No, she wasn't. She went, I'm so excited. And then it was
Ronzi!
oh no.
Ronzi! I'm gonna play Only Cans with Trinky and my mom.
Yeah. I'll be there as well.
Okay.
We'll go down.
Alrighty.
And I'll be there too. I'm gonna be held hostage. I
You
think.
sure are. You don't get a hell of a box. Alright, guys.
See, I wasn't worried, and now I feel like I should be.
Oh.
It's probably fine. Don't worry.
It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
Probably fine.
I'm gonna just end. I can't bring myself to fucking raid after this. So thank you all for coming out. Thank you guys for playing the funny D&D game with me. Snoot, could you save this whiteboard and share it in the poor Kim?
Yes.
Cool. I hope you all have enjoyed this. I hope you've all enjoyed the adventure that we were on. Maybe there'll be more D&D in the future, maybe not, who knows. It's all a mystery. Maybe it'll be like Tricky says and it'll be a sequel to Blue Flame, or maybe it'll be something entirely different. Who the fuck knows? All I know is look forward to April. I've really dug myself a grave here. Alright, anywho, bye-bye!